Afternoon. How are we all doing? How's everybody? Where is everybody, more importantly? Why is there never anybody in the New York session? Where's everybody go in the afternoons? I have no idea. Afternoon, Themba. Afternoon, Stevie. We've just had the news. What a news day, eh? Oof. Would you believe it? 3 massive high-impact news events today. And a grand total of 1 ADR on the Aussie CAD, which is completely unrelated to the Swiss franc, the pound, or the US dollar. Unbelievable. It's crazy, isn't it? Literally 3 super high impact news events in one day. And we get nothing. Nothing. Afternoon, Miura, Ellie. Afternoon, Dirp, Yarp. Well, there you go. So, yeah. Wow. Steve's just said there's a big flag on the Euro Swiss on the 5-minute chart. That looks like a big symmetrical triangle to me, though. That's a hell of a contraction. That's going to pop, isn't it? Mind you, is there a reason for it to pop? No. We've had all the news. Nothing's moving. It's nuts. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, there we go. So, jobless claims came out very close to as expectations and no much change on last time. So that's why we didn't get any move on the US. Not still believes we need a rate hike in May, but the size is uncertain. So that's 0.25% in May for the euro. Bank of England rate hike bets 4.62% peak. We are now 4.25, so that's 1 more 0.25% rate hike even for the euro. ECB is unlikely to stop raising interest rates. Whatever. Still going to go. But yeah, awful. I've never seen so little reaction to so much news. It's craziness, isn't it? We're just not going anywhere. So Aussie.CAD, you got an ADR. Well done. Get in. Yeah. Don't know what else to say. She will go home. She do something else. Afternoon, Chris. How was the physio? Very good. I've got a clean bill of health. My arm is okay, and yeah, not a lot really. Legs are still intact. Arms are still intact. Everything's attached. That's important. That's the important thing. So yeah, just got to win. She basically. Oh, right. That's the point. If my phone rings, I may have to take it because apparently the drug lady is phoning me. What are they called? Pharmacist is phoning me because I've got to come off my drugs. Just basically, how do you get off them? Because they're quite strong. Apparently, the drugs that I'm on, called pregabalin or pregabalin, whatever you want to call it, pregabalin, makes you babble, obviously. Pregabalin. Oh, sorry, I've got the financial juice turned on. You just shut him up. Yeah, apparently, if you stay on them too long, they cause depression. So, yes, they want to get me off them basically as soon as possible. Hi, John. Hi, Chris. So, DAX. We got the gap fill on the DAX. Perfect. We popped down straight into support, popped up. Not really going anywhere. We're in a descending sort of wedge pattern at the minute, so it's bearish. So I'd be looking for a pop down and then get that gap fill done. So we've still got the gap fill to complete. There. So good downside today, but looking at it, you know, it's just there's no movement. Nothing's going anywhere. It's awful. 30, well, it's an ADR, isn't it? Obviously. Look, I'm trying to measure it. That's an ADR. I'm trying to measure an ADR. The actual gap, which is what I was trying to measure, was roughly half an ADR to the downside. NASDAQ, baffling Globex session. So, yeah. No idea. Got this gap up here, but it's not really a very good propulsion gap. So I'm not quite sure what they're going to do with that today either. So we'll watch the NASDAQ open. I've turned the EA off on my account that's trading the NASDAQ and the Dow. I'm not convinced we're going to get a big move here today. So I'm being a little cautious. Up to you if you want to trade it. I mean, it's obviously it could absolutely fly, but the way the market's gone today, nothing seems to be moving, and I'm not quite sure why. We seem to be in a holding pattern for something. We've had all the rates over the last 2 days. The only thing we've got coming is PMIs. So I'm not quite sure what the market is sitting here waiting for, but we are waiting for something. We're not moving. It's certainly not the Japanese inflation that we're waiting for. So a bit of a mystery today, isn't it? 5 minutes to go. Afternoon, Diamond. Afternoon, Figinia. Afternoon, James. I was just looking at Aussie dollar CAD. Aussie dollar CAD, yeah. So that's the only ADR we've got. I don't really like it though. For me, oh my God, why have I got so many position trading bootcamp windows open? I might move this this thing down, you know, because I spend my entire life looking at the bias scorecard, not looking at this chart. So I might get rid of that. Aussie dollar CAD. We're +3. No retail sentiment, no COT. It's just purely Aussie dollar is stronger than the CAD on fundamentals. So it is kind of a bit of a long. But yeah, I don't know. Today. The EA, it's nicely extended on the 5 minute chart. It's had a really big rally down, but there's no real reason for that either, is there? Lots of big swings and no direction is kind of where we are at the minute. RSIs are pretty flat. We looked at these this morning. Aussie New Zealand on the hourly has also hit RSI extension. So that's just got extended to 70. So it's obviously weakness in the Australian dollar at the moment. And this thing, did anybody someone took this the other day, didn't they? It was yesterday, wasn't it? Yesterday morning, someone said they'd just gone short on Aussie New Zealand. You still in it? I said to look down at that low. Looks like we're getting there, doesn't it? Then back up there. Awful. It's just... it's like the market's... there's, like I say, it's waiting for something, isn't it? It's very, very, very weird. Anyway. So we're sitting sideways at present. No real directional bias. Nothing banked today. Still exactly where I was this morning. None of the EAs have banked anything today. We've got 307 on the H1 hedging file that I'm running. That's not banked. That's not banked. That's not banked. Oh, yes, it has. Sorry. Yes, ADR reversals bringing home the bacon, $161. Well done. So that was an ADR from Aussie dollar CAD. Oh, my God, I still haven't arranged these. Move that down a bit. Well, didn't want to do that. Aussie CAD, we've banked. So that was an ADR hit yesterday in FOMC. That's the only reason it hit. Not really a very textbook ADR, is it? But I'll take it. So nothing's moving. Anyway, anyone want to do anything else this afternoon? Right, NASDAQ is going to open in 1.5 minutes. So we'll watch the NASDAQ. So I'm just reading Telegram while I'm waiting for something to happen. I might read Telegram for a while. Right. Miami Dave, do I need a VPN to use your system? Nope. A VPN is a virtual personal network. What you need is a VPS, which is a virtual personal server. You don't need to, no. You can run the EAs on your computer. It's just obviously you need to leave it running 24/7. So if you're happy to have your PC running all day and all night, then you can just stick the EA on your normal MT4. However, obviously, most people don't want to do that. So that's why you have a VPS. But you don't have to. We've got 25 seconds to the open. Let's see if we can make some moolah. I got a camera as well now. How cool is that? So I might show you my ugly mug at some point. For those that aren't in the UK and don't know what an ugly mug is, it is a face. I keep talking in Cockney slang. Wow, that was a pretty big move before the open there. We're at the highs on the pre-market. So that's the pre-market 15. That's big, isn't it? Big one this morning. So it looks like we've got some volume. I should put tick strike on. I thought I had. Let me refresh Financial Juice. Sometimes that doesn't work. My dirty coffee cup. What? I've not heard of that one before. Here come the bulls. As we know, we've seen the bulls. They just come in. What about the pound odd and the 4.25 interest rate? Yeah, it didn't do anything, did it? It's not doing anything. The pound. Ooh, nice lot of selling, buying coming in. God, that's strong, that is. That's a lot of buys. See if they hold. Yeah, all the pounds basically. We've got resistance coming up here. All the pounds have literally gone nowhere in London. Look, amazing. I really thought we'd get some push off of the interest rates. Looks like we got a bit of pound strength coming in at the open of New York. Who'd have thunk that? Why is the pound moving in New York? It's crazy, isn't it? Nothing's really in sync at the moment. So US dollars coming down, as you can see, at the open. Propulsion gaps galore to the upside everywhere. So looking at the NASDAQ levels-wise, the high that we're looking at here is this 127.61 level, which is pretty much the Globex high. So that, wrong one. That's the Globex high from yesterday, which is here. And that acted as a support during New York and for FOMC. So this is a previous resistance, turn support, turn potentially resistance back down into here. Obviously, we've got that DAX gap fill to the downside as well, which may assist. But other than that, it's really difficult to pick levels on this at the moment. We've got these old levels here, which we were looking at previous and there. And obviously, with what happened with FOMC yesterday, they just ripped through all of this. So whether you can take any of this previous resistance and support into account is questionable. So obviously yesterday's high at the moment, which is there. And obviously ADR to the upside if we go upside, but it's difficult. That's the high before the FOMC spike. So there is potential that we might find liquidity there because obviously the spike is just a news event. So this was actually the previous high. So 128.19 might also be a level that is reactionary today. Not an easy one today at all. I picture you looking like a mean Tom Hiddleston. No, certainly not. Picture because GU defies all logic. Yeah, at the moment, everything defies all logic. What's the Dow doing? Okay, Dow's ripped out the highs as well. Oh my God, my MT4. Get me in the Netherlands. They know what they're doing. So what I'll probably do is do a quick analysis of all the pairs. We'll whiz through everything. Really nice rejection at the highs on the Dow. That's probably worth potentially a short. So this one may well also be the same if I could possibly get a terminal that worked. Oh my God, this thing is doing my head in today. I've got to fix this terminal. It's ridiculous. DAX is coming down. I'm just looking at another terminal. So I'm assuming the Dow and NASDAQ are doing the same. Let's switch over to the NAS. Yeah, so NAS is pulling back. We're still above the highs here. So we're not far off where you can see on the screen. Hell, come on. There we go. Well, no, we don't go. Okay, so potential good resistance spot on the NAS, sorry, the Dow there. There's your 5-minute opening range. Here come the sellers. So that's probably a very nice area to find some limit order triggers, which you can hear coming in now. So shorts back down into there. Ooh, a lot. Rahul, any entry position now on any trade? Yeah, I mean, loads of trades at the moment. I don't know if there's any you can get into. Opportunities wise, I would look at Euro CAD, Euro US dollar, Pound CAD, Pound US dollar for shorts, US dollar Swiss longs, Aussie New Zealand longs. So watch the propulsion gap fills. A lot further to come on the NASDAQ. So your 5-minute opening range break, if we're going short, is there. And if you're going long, it's there. Dow's holding up a minute. So all that selling just got absorbed. We'll probably hear a load of upticks coming in next and a fly out the highs. So on the Dow, there you go. So obvious previous support resistance is here, which is 32,350-ish. Then up to propulsion, which is the bulk of the Globex session from yesterday. So there's 2 levels to aim for, up, and then obviously yesterday's high above ADR, which is pretty much the same as on the NASDAQ. So they're both doing pretty much the same this morning. David, afternoon. I got into EuroCAD sell at 149.013, but was unable to catch the UJ posted in Telegram. I didn't post anything in Telegram. Someone else might have posted something in Telegram. Okay, that's your ORB on the Dow. Not going anywhere at the moment, is it? Oh, you posted on Telegram. All right, I see. Okay. Okay, here come the buyers. So if we get that pop out the highs, you got a very good run. Well, not a great run, but you got a run on the Dow to 1031 and then pretty much an ADR move to the upside. So if this goes out the highs today, I'll be looking 3270 plus up to ADR, up to yesterday's high, which is the FOMC peak. Doesn't actually appear to be able to get anywhere at the moment, though. We've got a right old battle going on here. Whoever wins this one, I think we'll probably find the others puke quite hard. There's a lot of volume coming into it. No one's going anywhere. EuroCAD. Sellers. There's your 5 minute and 10 minute opening range in now. So we're inside bar basically. That's quite a tight inside bar. Look at that. Size of that inside bar compared to the opening range. Huge. More sellers coming in. So I'm short EuroCAD at the moment. 149.0. Was that 149.013? Pretty much where I got into mine. Lots of selling coming in. So watch this wick for the gap fill. And then obviously that propulsion gap. Selling hard. So same on the Dow, inside bar, causing a propulsion gap. So we've got 2 propulsion gaps to the downside. Of course, it's tough. Look at this. There's a right old scrap going on. So if you're on the NASDAQ, you're short. If you're on the Dow, 5 minute, you haven't gone anywhere yet. What makes the Dow move the most? People trading YM futures or people trading Dow listed stocks? Well, YM futures is the Dow listed stocks, basically. Likewise, the ES and the NQ. So all this is what you're looking at here is basically the CFD representation of the futures, YM, ES, and NQ. So the price action you will find will be the same. The prices will be different. But the price action you see playing out here will be almost identical on a futures chart. Everyone hit the like button, as David just said. We've got 17 likes, 64 people. Come on. Yeah, so it's the same thing, basically. And obviously, all these are our indexes. So they are futures markets, basically, and representations of the stock prices. But obviously, when you're buying a futures contract, you're not buying those individual stocks. It's quite complicated how the futures work with stocks, actually. It's a lot more complicated than it is with commodities. I don't really understand the full underlying mechanics. You don't need to, really. It goes up and down. Just want to know about pound US dollar, euro US dollar. By the way, love your analysis. GT Prab, welcome back. 1 second, just watching the opening range breaks. Okay, we're going out the highs. Boom, there we go. Dow's popped the highs. NASDAQ's popped the highs, running into resistance up here. So that was a hell of a lot of fighting going on there. Sellers totally run over. We saw them puke out the highs there. So I would suggest we are probably long on these this afternoon, judging by that. But that was a lot of action to try and get out those highs. They're going to be exhausted. These moves here aren't particularly the hell? My mouse has stopped working. Oh, hello, mouse. Whoa, what's going on? My mouse has stopped working. Ugh. Can't move my mouse. Sorry, 1 sec. There we go, back. For some reason, my mouse just kaput. So yeah, these gaps up here Oh, what's going on? I just changed the speed of it. Oh, that's way too fast. There we go. Okay, my mouse is kaput. Sorry. What is going on with my mouse? The optics have gone wrong or something. Sorry if I deafened you then. Blowing my mouse. There we go. That's better. Yeah, so, right. Not sure about these levels. I probably have a bit of fluff in my mouse hole. Ooh, not sure about these because these aren't very good propulsion gaps. That has been tested. This isn't really an accumulation break because they've slammed the highs, then flushed down. This is just a news event. So this one is an A shape. So not particularly keen on that either. But these are large areas where we sold from. So there is potential for them to come back and attract those areas. So high targets, I would suggest just watching these for price action, but it's tricky. We are struggling again to get back up. It's hard. It's very, very hard for them to make any progress today. Ellie, can you drop your person indices set files in for ORB and Telegram? They're all in. They're all on the. They're all linked from the product page. So I'm using the 5 minute at the moment. Where am I? EAs. So I use the 5 minute ones. So that one, 5 minute only, DAX. So I'm literally just trading 5 minute breakouts at the minute. I was trading the pre-markets, but the pre-markets, like this one here, 15 minute pre-market set, it is very, very good at making a lot of money very fast. However, that drives me nuts. This it's got a low strike rate, so I don't like it. But NAS 5%, and it's the DAX 5% that I'm using. Yeah, so it's the percent set files. It's just those two. And I'm only trading NASDAQ and DAX. I'm not trading the others. Not having a great month this month. It's been very, very choppy. I think I'm down about, I think it was about 3.5K. Dow is pushing back down again as well. So it isn't going out the highs, look. So 5 minute ORB, double-ended stop run. Again. $341. $511. So I've been doing a little bit of analysis on the 5 minute ORB and using a 150% stop. Remember I was saying the other day about using the actual size of the opening range as a filter and 150%. So 51, 510 basically, 51 points is the stop. So if you are using a 51 stop, i.e. 150% stop, you get stopped out a lot less. I've been doing some back testing on this, and I think it's a much nicer set file to trade if you're going to watch it. This is the thing that does me with this strategy. It's just the constant stop outs. I hate being stopped out. This is why I'm a position trader. my psychology is not set for being ripped to pieces for a few days and then making 5 or 6 grand. It's just not the way I work. Leave it on a PC and let it run. No problem. You get a lovely equity curve. Watch the thing, it drives you crazy. So I'm playing with 150 set file. And again, today, that would have been beautiful. So you would have been in the short with a 150. You have to set, actually, yeah, you'll be hedged on this at the moment. So you'll be in a short and you'll be in a long with a 150 stop. Triggered on both. Whichever way this goes now, you make money. That's the beauty of it. But you're always going to lose one when you get a double-ended stop out. But with a double-ended entry, but the 150 stop basically means you don't get stopped out of both positions. One of them then runs, is what I was trying to say. Dow's out the high still. Nasdaq's unsure. Very choppy open. We'll do some analysis on FX pairs in a sec. I just want to see if that actually does run today. What I mean is, Tim, do you think the banks trading thousands of futures contracts or banks trading thousands of McDonald's or Apple? Well, it's futures contracts. Well, I don't know. I don't know. This is an index of, so basically you're trading, there's two different things. If somebody dumps thousands of shares in here, you're going to see that futures market drop down. The futures market is the overlying index of the stock prices. So this is the contracts are being traded on the stocks via the CME, via the futures market. I'm not 100% sure on the mechanics of it, to be honest. It's dumping tons and tons of contracts, but how those contracts actually get allocated, I don't actually know the answer to that one. That's one for Google. But we see the orders in the future. I mean, we see the orders in the futures market when you're using Bootmap or Jigsaw. You actually see the futures contracts sitting there. But the thing with futures contracts is on indices, these are not actually deliverables, are they? You're not buying a deliverable here. You know, if you bought a contract in the US 30, they're not going to deliver you a share in each of those stocks, are they? It's a good question. But we do know, obviously, when there's a massive earnings, the indices reflect the earnings of the stock, don't they? But I'm not quite sure of the mechanics of how they sit on top of each other. I shall look into that. One thing I need to get better is allowing my trade to play out. I was in Aussie New Zealand sell, but I saw a little jump up and got out. Of course, hit your TP. Yeah, it always will. That's what they do. They hit your TP. Little buggers like that. Get out the highs again on the Dow, the Nasdaq rather. It is a long. It just can't make its mind up. Look who's entered the building. Mr. Week. So massively wicky open again. Huge wicks today on the Nasdaq. The Dow, absolute beauty. Just long. Clips. What do you think about Aussie dollar CAD short? You've missed it. Totally missed it if you're going short on the Aussie dollar CAD. It's down at ADR. I'd be looking to long it. Yeah, when you get that reversal there, I'd go long. I wouldn't short that. It's too extended, isn't it? Oh, unless you're trading the hourly. I mean, if you're entering on a 1 hour RSI extension, if you're entering on a 1 hour chart, you'd be looking at something like the daily for your. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? Why would you enter that short? Now, if you're trading 1 hour, yes. if you're just trading a single time frame, then yes, you've had a structure break to the downside. So yeah, that's not how I would trade it. But yes, in theory, you could go short on that now. Just check. It's a long look. Just check your biases as well. Yeah, you're trying to sell something that has already done its move. You want to be selling up here, not down here, or selling here if you think it's a short. Yeah, don't sell at the lows. Just want to know about pound US dollar, euro US dollar, blah blah blah. Sorry, I didn't see that. I'm way hang on. My chat's wrong. I'm in the wrong place. Aussie and US dollar. Sorry, US, euro US, and pound US. Right. So I was just trying to find the chat. For some reason, my chat has duplicated itself. That's a bit weird. Oh, I've got gremlins in the system this afternoon, I tell you. Right, pound US dollar. So technically, if you look at the US dollar pairs, still, most things against the US dollar are a sell or are range bound. So euro US dollar is range bound. Retail at the moment is shorting it. So euro US dollar is going long. Same for the pound US dollar. Yeah. So they're both, but they are overall sells. So we're pushing long at the moment on these two because retail are all shorting it. Yeah. Retail have been shorting it. So what's it do? It goes up. So at the moment, we're waiting for retail to stop being an idiot. When they stop being an idiot, they'll be an idiot the other way, and then we'll get down. So I'm short already on euro US dollar. Got in on that RSI extension there. Scaled out of a little bit so far, taking a second entry and waiting for a push to the downside. Yeah, so I'm in short already. Just need a push down basically. So I'm waiting for that to happen. Oh my God, look at the state of this thing. Market is all over the place. Pound US dollar, same story at the moment. So we're very extended. Well, no, sorry, the 4 hour we were extended. Yeah, that was yesterday. So 4 hour extension, in, out on that. It's pushing up to another leg, so not quite extended enough for me, but at the moment I'll be looking for short opportunities on it, assuming that we're going to get US dollar strength coming through. Yeah, just waiting at the minute. Obviously we've got a resistance coming up, so out there, but I trade RSI extensions, so for me, I'm not trading it at the moment. I traded it on Monday, but not today. This is flicking around all over. You see, I'm watching this volatility. I'm watching this on my other monitor. I've got my Forex funds running on my right-hand monitor. And it's flicking all over the place. Like the volatility, the actual volume and volatility coming through today is huge. But look at it. It's all completely balanced. Don't quite know what to make of this, so just be a little careful. The Dow's managed to make a whole, like, a whopping 4-point move out the highs. I'm just watching it on my other monitor, making sure that the price is actually what I'm seeing on here, because I don't trust this at the moment. I'd leave that today if I was you. It's either, for me, it's either a break of the high today and continuation, or I would leave it, because this thing's absolutely schizophrenic, as you can see. It's all over the place. Right, let me just catch up on the chat. Hi, Senpai. Fake web. Is it advisable to trade only one strategy at a time due to possible currency overexposure, using multi-strategy simultaneously? Also, should each strategy have a separate account? If you want to, up to you. Obviously, you need to watch your exposure. If you're trading 3 different strategies on which are similar, so if you're using the market reversal alerts EA and you're trading ADR reversals, H4 M5 or M15 and H1 M5, yeah, if you get a strong push on the Aussie CAD, for example, to the downside, or let's take this move here, yeah. So that's an ADR hit to the upside. ADR is 74. So you hit ADR there. Look at that as well. Yeah. So if you're trading that strategy and that strategy at the same time on this pair, you will have two entries short, one ADR reversal and one H1M5 entry. The whole idea of those strategies that I gave, lots of buying coming in, as you can hear, it's flying out of highs, is to give you different ways to trade using extensions of market. Yeah. So if you trade all of them, that's fine. But bear in mind, you're going to completely overexpose yourself to some currencies by taking too many trades at once. So as long as you know and you're aware that you're doing that and you keep a close eye on them, that's fine. All you will see is if you trade them on the same account, what you will see is lots of entries, yeah, and a higher drawdown. But really, that drawdown should be divided by 2 if you think about it, shouldn't it? So there's nothing wrong with doing that all on one account, but just bear in mind you're going to overexpose on it. So it's entirely up to you. But yeah, I mean, ideally, yeah, if you would run them on separate accounts, so you could split your capital down into 3. So if you've got 50k to trade with or something, you'd put like 15, 15, 15 or something. And then all you're going to do is run each one on each. But, you know, when you get that hit there, that account and that account are both going to take the same trade, aren't they? But then lots of times, like today, that is not extended, but it is an ADR. So you're going to get an ADR reversal trigger and a long on Aussie dollar CAD, but you won't get it on H1M5. So you'll have, they're not going to be the same. And H4, obviously, if you look at Aussie dollar CAD on H4, you didn't trigger that one, and you haven't triggered the long. So H4 is not going to trigger. So they are, you know, they are different trades. But the idea was, and the whole purpose of giving those strategies out is to do with multi-time frame analysis. If you work all day, you can't trade ADR reversals, and you can't trade H1 M5, can you? Because to be able to enter these manually, obviously with EA you can do what you like, but manually you can't check the charts every hour. You can't check the charts every 5 minutes, but you can check the charts every 4 hours. So H4 M15, if you work a full-time job, is your strategy. But you can run all 3 if you want to, but watch exposure. At the moment, the market is so contracted. As we're seeing, you know, we've had 3 major news events today, and we've got 1 ADR. It just shows you how contracted it is at the moment. It's not moving much. So you can pretty much range trade everything, but at some point, one of these is going to explode. But the fundamentals for the moment on everything are pointing to nothing much moving. There's no reason for anything to pop, is there? So, but it's up to you. It's personal preference, really. I mean, I don't know many people that run all strategies. You don't need to. Just watch your exposure. David, there's a guy I know offering funding that I know you would succeed in, but not sure if you would be interested. I'm sending a follow-up message here. Okay. Tim, presumably when the futures contract is executed, say on the YM, a fraction of each and every Dow stock is executed. Say, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If if you get a stock earning that is positive, let's say you get stock earning on the DAX that's positive. Don't know why I'm looking at the DAX. It will rise. Yeah. We are obviously looking at a futures contract. So I suspect there are 3 things at play here. You have the mechanics of the 40 stocks on the DAX, which return a price figure. On top of that, you have a price for a futures contract, which will be probably around about the price of that calculation. And then you have your CFDs, which sit on top of that. So if someone buys a load of stocks here, you will see this tick up. As this ticks up, people will want to purchase the futures contracts, which drives the futures market up. But if this ticks down, I guess the futures market will tick down along with it, which will drive that. All I see in Jigsaw and Bookmap is the actual orders placed in the futures market. But as you say, if I see an order placed in the futures market for oil, that is an oil contract being purchased. Whereas this is an index. So again, I don't know the underlying mechanics. I should imagine they're incredibly complex. And I don't think we really need to know them, do we? Wow, that's a wick and a half on the NASDAQ. Jesus. Okay, so we tapped straight into that propulsion gap, and they sold the crap out of that, didn't they? So watch. This is tricky. It's always difficult after FOMC. No idea where anything's going. It could go anywhere because the market's always so exploded. There's no ideas of support resistance. You just got to follow the market. The market's going long at the minute, so just do that. I'm not interested in it today. Too much of a pain in the backside. Thanks for answering. I'm from Miami, Florida. Ellie. I wish I was in Miami, Florida. The man in the UK, great trader, nice website and company, has a program where you pay €400 for education, and once you're done with education, he funds you. It starts out 50-50 profit split. You're aiming for 4% a month. If you don't get... But I can get much better than that with a prop firm. Why would I go for a 50-50 split on someone funding me when I can just go and get 100k or 200k from a prop firm and get 90% or 70%? It doesn't make sense. That's and I don't want to do his education. He's going to want you to trade his way, isn't he? Isn't he? Isn't that just a really badly organized prop firm? I don't know. Send me the link. I'll have a look at it. I sell the US 30, then hit stop loss. And then the US 30 drop about 500 pips. Yep. I'm not going to... Should I do it? There's a video about this. I do this every day now, don't I? There's a bit in the video about this. Here. Oh my God. Asana, go away. I don't want any marketing. There is a bit in this. Getting stopped out all the time on most of your entries. Getting in just as the market turns the other way. Or any of this lot, actually, basically. You get into a trade, long, stops you out, then goes like that. Right. Why do you think you lost? This is why scalping is a pain in the arse. You get stopped out a lot. Position trade, you don't get stopped out a lot. I haven't banked anything today. I'm going to bank something in a minute. I've got $1,000 sitting on the table and I've got nothing banked. So annoying. Something you'll bank in a minute. I'm still long CAD yen from a couple of weeks ago. Initially, H4 M15 entry. Managing is okay at the moment. I had 3 in and out trades and profit. Currently on 5 long positions. Still comfy. Cool. CAD yen. Yeah, I'm out that CAD yen. Ooh. So that was 3 positions and took some drawdown control on it. I was out there. But if you got in on H4, yeah, I mean, I got in there. I'm out. I got out there too early. You had a lot more profit available to you as well. And the following day, you also had an exit. So you should have really exited the position. Buying. Off we go. Maybe we're coming up to the highs. So that ADR hit to the upside. But if you are taking the opening range breakout today, you're in it long, but this is not a convincing break, is it? There's your 5 minute on the Dow. I mean, literally, awful lot of buying for a very little movement, isn't it? So not very convincing today. RSIs, we haven't got much to look at today. So we've got H1, we've got the Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. I'm just turn the crickets down a little bit. That's extended on your hourly, nicely embedded and extended now. So that's got a nice potential move upwards. Very orderly move if you look on the way down. Very wicky, lots of candlesticks, lots of wicks. Yeah, so there's no propulsion gaps on the way down. That's the last propulsion gap, and we've got that one there. So there's your accumulation break that started the move. So I'd be looking for a push up on that. These lows should act as support. So there's an opportunity to get in on that one. It's just range bound at the moment. So anywhere here, funnily enough, exactly where it's touching at the minute, or down to these lows, ADR, looking for a push back up to those highs. Still have got that propulsion gap to sort at the highs up there. So that looks like a good long, Aussie New Zealand. Drop down M5, take the reversal alert, which is not far away, 7 pips away. Euro CAD, big strong push down to the downside, Euro CAD. This is a 4-hour extension to the upside, sorry. So that's obviously, that's not the ADR today, it's the Aussie CAD was the ADR today. So that started to turn. You've had a 4-hour reverse alert, hourly reverse alert was this morning. The M5 was this morning as well. How was it? There, that was in Asia. Then we had a couple of new highs coming down. So nearly at break even on that one. But that is still valid to enter. We're still, well, it's not really now, is it? You missed it. The move started. So target on this one, to the downside, you've got this area here to target to the downside. We've got this propulsion gap as well, but we've obviously got this resistance in the way. So out of all these targets to the downside, I would say this area here at sort of 150 ADR, that's kind of filled on the hourly, but we've got these little ones down here. We've got this little one down here. So there is plenty of downside on this. We didn't get any strength off of the US dollar. And I was hoping that was going to strengthen up the CAD, which it hasn't done. So whether or not we're going to get a bounce at resistance or not, we'll have to wait and see. So your previous resistance is here, that sort of area. Yeah, that's where we broke down. We came up, accumulated, broke out. So somewhere in there, potentially, if we're going to continue long, is your bounce point. Market structure is definitely long on it. So watch that area. Obviously, the other pullback on this, if you look at a fib, is going to be somewhere in this range down here. Anywhere from here to here, really, which encompasses that propulsion gap there. So if it slips beyond this level and gets further down, there's another target there. But I mean, I'm break-even average there, so I'll be out down here somewhere. So that's Euro CAD, nicely still extended, but a little bit late on that one. And then we have Euro US dollar, extended to the upside, short on this as well. Same thing, trading this back into the propulsion gap. If it doesn't go there and it decides to go off for a run for a bit, fine, we'll just have to wait. But yeah, looking for that short as well. But nothing's moving at the moment. Indices are doing okay, but not in a very nice fashion, are they? Anybody got any other pairs they want to have a look at today? Because it's a bit light on the ground with ADRs and RSIs. God, this is struggling, isn't it? Morning, Franco. Stevie, what about using H4M5? You said you get better entries with that setup. Yeah, so I've switched over to H4M5. which is also running on here, purely because this one, the entries are tighter with the 5 minute. So let's look at pound CAD. Let's look at it over here. Oh, there we go, pound CAD. So if we drop that down to M5, look, everything's in a different place on this terminal. There's your M5 entry. There's, in this case, obviously it's the same. So there's your M5 entry, which is that reversal alert there. What I'm finding and what I have found since I've been running the EA, when I was trading manually, it wasn't as noticeable, because when I was trading manually, what I was doing in the early days was just basically going, right, I'm in. And then I would see a reversal alert on M15 and I would look at it and go, right, ADR is, I don't know, 80. I've got a reversal alert there. Oh, that's roughly 80. I'll get in. Yeah, so I would just take a trade. So what I found was, you know, some of my trades would be just under half an ADR, just over half an ADR or something like that. And I would just be getting in manually on the reversal alerts. Since I've been running the market reversal alerts EA for a long time on H4M15, what I see is sometimes I don't get a reversal alert because it's like, let's say it's 70, half an ADR. The reversal alert happens at 68. And I look at it and go, that is spot on, because we've just hit a beautiful resistance. I want to be in there. But what happens is it then does this. Yeah. And if I'd have entered on that M15, I'd be out with a profit. So that would be closed out, roughly break even. That would be closed out with a nice profit, happy days. Yeah. But the M15 entry doesn't miss it. Because M5, you're trading and getting tighter entries because the reversal alerts are actually tighter. You get in roughly the same point, but I find you don't miss those M15 entries where you think that was spot on, but I didn't quite get it. So that's the only reason I've shifted over to M5 as the entry criteria. So it's exactly the same set file. It's just sitting on the M5 time frame instead of the M15 time frame. So the only difference is the reversal alerts are being triggered differently, but the distance is the same. So that's why I've done it. And obviously it's working fine. And I'm finding that the entries are faster, which is great. But, you know, it's difficult to gauge whether the entries are faster or not, because it's not down to the reversal alerts EA, it's down to the market conditions. So yeah, they look like they're faster, but is that just because we're in a flatter market and we haven't got any squeezes? Fine, probably is. Can't tell really, can I? Oh, did anybody take the ORB today? Right, Dow's crashed into resistance and is rejecting. This is the Globex high. It's this peak here, basically, from Tuesday, sorry. Yeah, so that's basically the reason for switching to M5. It's you know, the strategy is exactly the same. We're trading H4 extensions, just with a slightly tighter entry. Just seeing if the Euro CAD, that's a good example. Mess that one. Yeah, see, this is a good example. Look, you got a 5 minute reversal alert there. Yeah. So it's basically everything's in a different place. I can't find anything. Yeah, look how tight that reversal alert is there. So you got that high, that low, bang, broke it, entered. So that's the candle that got me in there. The distance between those is perfect, half an ADR-ish. Switch to M15. Yeah, there's no reversal alert at all. So the high is there. You wouldn't have got a reversal alert until there. Now, if that candle low is just enough pips away that it doesn't trigger that entry, you wouldn't have taken that, which is fine at the moment because price probably isn't low enough to get you out anyway. But no, it is. Look, right? So now I'm sitting at break even. This is a perfect example of the difference between the M5 and M15. I'm sitting at break even now. If I was running this on M15, my entry would be there, admittedly slightly different away. But if the distance between there and there is the difference between triggering and not triggering because of this is less than half an ADR and that is more than half an ADR, this entry wouldn't have been taken. Therefore, what we're doing is we're actually just sitting in drawdown on one position, aren't we? Yeah, so we're sitting in drawdown on this position. But right now, because of that M5 entry, I'm break even. So I've come to the conclusion that it's probably better to run it on this. You will still get a decent result on M15. I'm just trying to perfect it. That's basically it. But I'm not running an H5, an H4, M15 to actually compare at the moment. So I can't tell you whether it's better or worse. But it's obviously working well. It's done a decent profit. So took a long on Euro odd. Euro odd. Okay, not sure why. Well, you're obviously trading a different strategy, I guess. That's fine. What plan do you choose? What plan did you choose with the trading prop firm? So I trade 50 and 100K accounts. There's no plan. It's an evaluation, two-step evaluation. There's a lot of selling coming in off of this high on Dow. Been working on prop group fivers. Yep, Franco, I have done a fivers evaluation. I had to kick it to the touchline because it drove me completely mad. Sounds like old school prop. Using their parameters got stopped out. Have to use a stop. You spoiled me, yeah. I didn't mind using a stop with them. My problem with them, Franco, was 1 to 10 leverage. I couldn't take any trades. I was trying to scalp, and I'd get a position on with 0.5% risk, and I'd try and put another 0.5% risk on to push the winner, and it would go, nah, you can't trade more than 0.5%. All right, well, I won't make any money then. Bye. So I gave up with them. Useless. Really good program, ruined by the leverage. If they gave 100 leverage, I'd be all over it, but they don't. It's a really good plan. The one I did was a bootcamp. You might be doing something different, but the bootcamp program, $95 for a 3-stage 100K. It's brilliant. But look at that. Can't trade with it. Can't use 1 to 10. You could probably pass it, but you'd be looking at somewhere between 6 months to a year, if you're lucky. It's just not tradable. So, yeah. Like the idea, but the other program they've got, the high stakes, as they call it, does give you 1 to 100. But this is just like normal prop. It's more expensive than my Forex funds. The conditions aren't as good. So kick it to touch because it's not as good as the others. We're still in a fear. Still in fear. Watch your yens. Bailey, we're not much. We're hopeful we won't enter recession. You can hope all you like, mate. Unless you get that inflation down, we are. Using the parameters, using the EA, does the automatic percentage drawdown scaling out have to be at least 0.01 lots in size? Yes. Obviously, you can't close half a lot, John, can you? Half a 0.01. So the EA settings to scale out are a percentage. So 0.3 is 30%. So if you've only got a 0.01, you can't close 30% of a 0.01. You could close 30% of a 0.03, but you can't do that. But you can't do that, as Meatloaf would say. Otherwise, I've been doing very well on personal account. Cool. Stick to the personal account. Prop's great, but you got to play prop, and it's very time consuming. Afternoon, Paul. Have you ever bothered to learn Elliott wave theory? I have, yes. And it's Diarma's just said, oh crap, I didn't have Elliott wave on my bingo card. Yeah. Here we go again. Right. No, nothing wrong with the question about Elliott wave. Elliott wave's fine. I'm just looking through to it. I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. I haven't had it yet, have I? No one's asked yet. So we've only got 98 people in here. So I think we need to get over 100 people for someone to ask the question. It hasn't come yet. And if a regular asks it, I'm not gonna bite. So yeah, Elliott wave. If you look at Elliott wave, and whichever forms of Elliott wave you want to study, doesn't matter. It's all basically the same thing. It's market structure. So an Elliott wave 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D pattern is market structure. Yeah. So Elliott wave reversal patterns are market structure. So Elliott wave is a over complex way of looking at the movement of price, where it makes a new high, a new higher low, a new higher high, and then it makes a new lower low, a lower high, a lower low. Yeah, so market structure is exactly the same thing as Elliott wave. Elliott wave is done by measurements. So it's a technical way of seeing market structure, and it uses measurement to plot out those prices. So when you get your ABC, you go and measure to get your DE and whatever you do, whichever Elliott wave you're doing. There's lots of different ones of them, which again makes it really, really complicated. Yeah, because there's too many variations and there's too many things you can do with it. So at the end of the day, Elliott wave is market structure. Just learn market structure. It's so simple. There's a 3-minute video on my website and on YouTube about market structure in here. And this 3-minute video will boil down basically what market structure is. You don't need to see any more. That's market structure, right? It's the same thing. In there is Elliott wave patterns, ABCD patterns, and all sorts of things. The problem with Elliott wave is it's too technical. So what you will do is you will go, oh, look, I've seen a beautiful ABCD pattern. So now what I need to do is wait for the E to take a short. And what will happen is it will go like that and like that. And you'll go, didn't get there. So I missed that entry. Okay, on to my next analysis, right? Market reversal alert would have triggered, even if it was a lower high. I'm just looking at chat. You did it, whipping post. You're so... You've ruined the game. So yeah, Elliott wave is fine, but it's a massively... My mentor, Strat, right? I was with him for a year or so. And one day I went quiet on the forums and stuff, and he emailed me and said, I haven't heard from you for a while. You all right? Everything going okay? I was like, yeah, brilliant. I was just studying Elliott wave. Anyways, and he gave me the same lecture. It's like, I won't see you for the next 3 months. And when I see you again, you will come back and you will do exactly what you're doing now. Because 1, you will get overly confused. 2, you will learn exactly what you've just learned. And 3, nothing will ever work because you'll never get any trade entries. So I went off for 3 months, went back to him and said, yeah, you're right. And I carried on doing what I was doing, which was basically ever so slightly profitable, mostly break even trading, using support and resistance and market structure. So what I wanted to do was, I understood market structure worked, and I thought there's got to be a better way to get the holy grail entry so that I increase my strike rate from 55% to 95%, because that's what everybody says is possible. Especially Happy FX or whatever they're called, who keep spamming our chat every now and again and saying, come and look at my signals. But what Elliott Wave actually did was show me that it's just market structure, and I already know market structure. There's a beautiful head and shoulders pattern. This is part of an Elliott Wave. Yeah, every pattern you see, descending wedges, there's an Elliott Wave in there. So all Elliott Wave is, in a nutshell, is the main market structure patterns to look out for. These will all contain an Elliott Wave pattern. There's an Elliott Wave pattern in there. Yeah, it's overly complex. But go and if you want to go and delve really deep into it, and I have to say it helped me understand market structure brilliantly. But could I make a trading strategy out of it? No, it's too complicated. But that's me. Yeah, everybody's different. Okay, we're running into the Nasdaq's next propulsion gap, which is the FOMC move, and the Dow is doing the same. Oh yeah, the Dow's in there. Let's look at M5. We can see it. No, Dow's nowhere near. Look, Dow's struggling. Nasdaq's off. The Dow's stuck. There you go. Completely different opening range breakouts. That's the Dow's opening range breakout. That is the Nasdaq's opening range breakout. Very, very different price action today. Total confusion off the back of FOMC, basically, I reckon. It's just pain today. When you backtested, did H4M5 work better than or H1M5? They're different, Baggy, totally different. H4, look at the trades. Yeah, this is H4M5. Just trying to think about trade count, but that's banked like 10%. This is H1M5. Bank 10%. Look at the number of trades on. Yeah. So this is what I say. H4M5 15 it was, M5 at the moment. You're trading different extensions. So just looking at this as an example, yeah. Entry, 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 entry. Yeah, that's H4. If you drop it down to H1, I have to go out of time frame. Yeah, look at how many entries you get on H1 as well as the H4s, and how extended H1 gets. Entry, 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 entries, big entries. Yeah, much more extension. So H1 is always going to hit faster. So H4 is the much bigger swings than H1. Yeah. It's explained in the video, the difference between them, in the bootcamp rather. It's to do with in the bootcamp, it's part of day 2, which is the multi-time frame analysis. Oh God. Oh. Yeah. So here you go. So in daily, in that move there on a daily chart, on a 4-hour, you've got multiple pushes and pulls. Elliott waves, funnily enough. Market structure moves, yeah. And then you break it down into hourly and look how many you get on the hourly. There's way, 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 way more on the hourly, yeah. So each of these pushes and pulls, yeah, each of these red lines here has the potential to give you an RSI extension. So on that H4, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to that point. On H1, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So each of those red lines is a move by the banks. And if there's a lot of volume and strength in there, that is an opportunity to get an RSI extension. So you're just going to get more waves within your waves. And this is part of Elliott wave, yeah? A, B, C, D patterns. Inside of A, B, C, D patterns are A, B, C, D, E, F, 1, 2, 3s, all that sort of stuff. It's all inside, waves inside waves inside waves. The market is fractal. Every time it moves like that, on a lower time frame, it's moving like that. On a lower time frame, it's moving like that. And on a really small time frame like M5, it's all over the place. The more higher time frames you go up, the more smooth price action is, the less signals you get and the stronger they become. So H4 is a much better time frame to trade than H1 if you want accuracy and you want lower drawdown. H1 is a very profitable time frame and you will bank more often. So if you run H4, you could use higher targets because you're getting bigger moves, but you get roughly the same result. But it's all about it scratching that itch, isn't it? Yeah. If you're sitting there on H4, was it last week or the week before? I can't remember. If you go and look at last week, I think it was last week, we came in here and this was flat. I had no trades on. And it's like, got nothing on. But that's because the market wasn't very volatile and nothing hit ADR, hit RSI. So literally we had no trades. H1 had trades, but this one didn't. It's personal preference. There's no right or wrong. All the strategies work. But the idea is you pick one that suits you as a trader and you pick one that suits you as the time you've got to spend. There's a really nice reversal going on the NASDAQ. Look. Rounding top. Pending order under that low. Stop above there or there, depending if you're aggressive or those targets to the downside to get to aim for. Sorry. Catching up. We're playing bingo. Yes, we're playing word bingo. Someone's already said it though. Do you purely use EA or discretionary? I use EAs for my position trading. I'm discretionary when I trade indices. Although I'm not. I am also automated. Looks like EU took buy side already. Don't know. That's something to do with ICT, isn't it? Yes, I figured that was a calculator. Brian, shh. Anna, am I married? Yes. That's not the question we were looking for. Please check my numbers. Half an account risk divided with one ADR, TP at half an ADR for 10% a month. Need 40 winning trades. I don't know. I'd have to do proper maths on that. Half an account risk, 0.5% risk on a 1 ADR move with a TP at half an ADR. So you would need 20 trades a month. 20 trades a month, not 40. But what you're talking about, Michael, is one-hit wonders, aren't you? You're not going to get one-hit wonders. Look. Yes, you're going to get trades which just go straight to target, but you're also going to get trades which don't go to target and also have drawdown control. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, you cannot force the market to give you a percentage return a month. I had this conversation with someone in Telegram this afternoon. He was showing me his results, which were fantastic, really, better than mine, with the EA. And he was asking obviously what I make and that sort of thing. And you can't put a number on a return a month. The market will give you what the market will give you. Yeah. If I take 20 trades and I target one ADR on each of them, and the market goes sideways within an ADR for the entire month, I will never close a position. Yeah. Nothing wrong with my entries. They're all fine. The trades are all great. But the market movement decides when I make money. Yeah. So I'm sitting in all these positions at the moment thinking, for God's sake, I've got nothing banked. Why have I got nothing banked? Because none of this stuff has moved far enough to get me out of the positions. This is totally out of my control. Yes, I would love to have 15% to 20% return every single month, but that's not how the market works. The market moves up and down. That's not playing out. That's why you place pending orders when you're discretionary trading. The market will not say, here you go, this is the maths to make 10% a month. The market will give you what you want. Some months you'll make 5%, some months you make 15, some you make 10, some you'll have a bumper 25% month. And I've had a couple of those in the last year. But a lot of the time I'm sitting, vast majority of my time is sitting somewhere in the region of that as position trading, yeah? But this is not what I get because I've wanted to achieve something with a risk. I get this because the market allowed me to take that out the market. There's no prop firm or hedge fund or any desk in the world where they go, here you go, here's $1 million, come back with 1.1 million every month for us, please. Yeah, they understand it doesn't work that way. Sometimes you come back with 1.2, sometimes you come back with 98 and go, sorry, I haven't made anything this month. I have losing months. You're not going to win all the time. Yes, he's married to a woman with a gun. We're not allowed guns in this country. She would have one. No, she wouldn't. She hates guns. She likes watching things about guns. Odd. Spike the likes, everybody. 109. No, we haven't got any. I'm used to saying, look at that. I'm used to saying 100 and something now. We've only got 96 in it. Tim, sir, you must give me your urgent analysis on sunflower seeds futures. For my poorly brother, waiting for an operation, he cannot tend to his sunflower seeds plant, so he needs you. Also, bank account number. Hello, I'm calling from your bank. I need your bank account number. Sunflower seeds. You can trade those as well. You can trade anything. It's amazing. You can trade anything on futures. As long as there's somebody willing to take the other side of your trade, you can trade anything you like. It's what markets are, isn't it? I've got a second-hand iPad. I want to get rid of it. Someone wants to buy one. We trade. Exactly the same supply and demand principle here. Sunflower market is booming, turning seed into hydrogen fuel. Germination boom coming in 2023. See, this is the stuff. This is why I don't trade the futures market. And this is why companies and hedge funds and investment firms have floors of analysts. And the analyst's job is to look at this stuff. Like with what we're talking about this morning, you can trade on the freeze. You can trade on frost futures, weather patterns. Yeah, you can trade anything you like. There's so many instruments out there, but you have to fully understand it. So if you don't understand germination cycles, you can't trade sunflower seeds, can you? And it's far too complex. Michael, I just saw that before you retracted it. It's all born from the ABCD patterns. ABC, ED is 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Nothing wrong with Elliott Wave. I don't have a problem with it, but it is a rabbit hole. What will happen is, yeah, I can tell you exactly what will happen from Elliott Waves. You will start studying this, right? I don't know if it's 2 L's or not. I don't care, right? That will lead you to market structure, or it will give you a better understanding of market structure. But while you're doing this, it will also lead you to these things. And it will lead you to these things. Yeah. And that will lead you on to this thing. Right? And when you get there, you will be so unbelievably confused every time you look at a chart, because you will see things in here. It's like hallucinating. As soon as you learn about harmonics, Elliott Wave is the basis formation of Gartley's butterflies, bats, Batmans, Yes, this is a real chart pattern. It exists. It is a real chart pattern. You will get into opening up your chart when you learn harmonics, which comes from Elliott wave, and you will look at this and go, wow, look, there's half a Batman. I know it's exactly what's coming next. And you'll trade that and you'll lose it and you'll go, oh, Batmans don't work. What about Gartleys? Let's chart trade in Gartleys. Yeah, I can see some on this chart now. And the most basic of the lot is your old Head and Shoulders, which fails 80% of the time because false breakouts. That's all it is. It's a false breakout. Or it's a breakout. It's a breakout. Stop overcomplicating this crap. It is a support, breakout, or false breakout. Yeah. What comes before it is got bugger all to do with anything. Whether that breaks or not is a 50-50 shot. So all that harmonics and Elliott wave and everything does is it overcomplicates something very simple. That bit there where we stopped, if we come back to it, it's probably going to bounce off of it. So all you really need to understand is support and resistance. I'm still stuck in this, by the way, for any of you that were here this morning. Still in it. It's not going anywhere. NASDAQ, my God, look at that. Beautiful. ORB ended up being. It looked like it was going to be a real battle today, but this thing's off. Very nice. So yeah, if you go down that route, just be prepared. You won't come back for a long time. Larry Mo Curly Wave. Yeah, there's all sorts. Jesus, let me just turn the crickets down. This thing's really, NASDAQ's flying. Seeing if there's any news that we're missing. There's not. Bailey's speaking at 2, was speaking at 2. So yeah, craziness, basically, all of that stuff. There's nothing wrong with it, but just, yeah, you'll get confused. When a bank fails, the Fed starts Elliott wave to get washing away this by washing away a tsunami. You know, it is one of those things where you suddenly, you open up a chart and you'll want to do this. You'll want to draw a dotted line from there, and then you'll want to go, well, that measurement there means that the next one is going to be an extension to there, because what I'm expecting to be drawn out now is that pattern. That's a butterfly. So when you get here, you will sell it. And when it gets down to here, you will exit your position and you will buy it. And you will see these beautiful butterfly patterns. This isn't one, but you'll see these painted out on the chart, right? But when they're forming, you will never spot them. And this is what I keep saying to everybody about Head and Shoulders patterns. Go on your chart and find Head and Shoulders patterns. Yeah, you'll spot them really easy. Now go on your chart and find me failed Head and Shoulders patterns. You won't be able to spot them very easily, but you'll find that there will be 10 times more failed Head and Shoulders on your chart than completed ones, because everybody is trading them. The market knows it and it takes you out. They never form. When they form, they're beautiful. I've probably got some in here. I don't know if this is, no, this isn't old enough, this MT4. But I have had harmonics, EAs, indicators, and all sorts. I wonder if I've got any on my Axie account. I'll have a quick look at my Axie account, because that's older. It might have some old ones on there. But anyway, Elliott wave. So nobody's actually asked for it, so I'm just going to do it anyway. Gold. So where do we think gold's going today? I said short this morning. I was wrong. It's going up. So weakness in the US dollar. Oh, Jesus. Shush. Murray math. Blimey. Must be some in the PZ. Must be some in the PZ. Harmonics, isn't there? Ta-da! PZ harmonic. Pop. Ta-da! Welcome to Elliott Wave Confusion Land. Yeah? X, X, A, B, C, D. X, X, A, B, C, D. X, A, B, C, D. Yeah? All completed patterns. Yeah? You try trading the next one that appears. When it comes up, it goes, quick, we've got a potential pattern. It will fail 99% of the time. These calculations and these levels just don't work. It was amazing. This is on the H4 time frame. Go down to M15. Look at that. That beautiful market structure, look. Look at this overcomplicated crap in the middle of it. I say it's not overcomplicated crap. It's just very, very difficult to get your head around. But I don't think I've got an Elliott Wave one. I must have an Elliott Wave one. I must have. Oh my God, I've got so much in here. There's a load of ICT indicators here. Look at all this lot. Who knew ICT had so many indicators? He doesn't trade indicators. He trades naked charts. Look how many he's got. They're not his, actually. They're what people have made, I guess. ICT market structure. I haven't even looked at it. What's that do? There we go. Market structure. Anyway, so you get the point. It's very complicated. Gold, yeah. So gold is pushed long again, look. So we've got loads of targets to the downside on this. Loads of targets. That's completely untouched. That is tested once, but it's a nice big one. That's tested. That is untested, 200 ADR. That is untested, 150 ADR. We've already completed that one, and that one. That one is completed to the upside. So certainly looks like a short, doesn't it, everybody? RSI is extended. Drop down, M5, next reversal alert, short it. Guaranteed to make £1 million and own a Lamborghini. And when a bank fails, we've read that one. Very small entry on US dollar yen short before bed last night. Very disappointing so far. Yeah, I wouldn't trade anything short against the yen at the moment. I'm long at the minute on a US dollar yen, only because it was extended on RSI. We got a 20 on it basically. However, I do like it short. The only reason I like this long at the moment is because of this, and we've also got these. There's a lot of unfilled propulsion gaps. They're all tested. That one's not, but that one's not actually either. That looks good. So some of these are tested. That's not, but that's kind of what I would class as the breakout of that accumulation. So this is the one I would look at. But yeah, like it as a long, but I really like it as a short at the same time. I'm very conflicted on all yens still. I'm unsure on direction for yen. It's going to be difficult. Nasdaq's at the highs. We're just coming up to ADR. So this is the what level was that? I've no idea what level that is. Oh, that's a high there. So this is the previous high before FOMC spiked it, which is roughly ADR. So yesterday's high. So we're coming up to some very good looking resistance levels. So it's nice, these resistance levels, when we come up to these at the end of day, or not end of day, but after a decent run into the session, if you wanted to position trade short, sort of a hybrid position trade, these are the areas you would start to look at scaling into a couple of short positions in the assumption that we're going to get a pullback on this move. So think of a daily candle. Yeah, the vast majority of daily candles you find have some kind of spike on the top. Yeah, so we've got some kind of move out the top of it. Yeah, you look at the dailies. Yeah, you don't often find what we call strong close candles. Yeah, most of them have got a wick. Yeah, so to form that wick, think about what's happened. I'm talking bull candles, not bear candles. Yeah, they've got some kind of wick on the top. So to form that, what we've got to do is make a high and pull back from that high so that that wick is in formation. Very, very nice levels coming up where you could start entering a position and wait for that pullback and hopefully get a profit out of it. But obviously using a short, a sort of low risk. Yeah, you don't go 1% because it could fly 150 ADR or something stupid, couldn't it? Same Raymond, how do you use propulsion gaps in your trading? So basically, if you look back on any chart, you will find propulsion gaps act as a magnet. So let's go back further. Yeah. So propulsion gaps basically are basically they're just bank orders. They're the large moves in the market, which obviously to move a market to that extent, you need to be a bank or an institution. So it's an indication of them starting a position. When a bank drives a position down, it will take a profit on that position. When it drives it down really, really fast, what you'll find is there'll be other institutions caught offside on that move, and they will go into drawdown. So you have two factors at play. First is the bank's move to the downside, which at some point it will exit and take a profit from. To get out of a short, it needs to hit the buy button to go long. So after that move, your banks are sitting pretty in lots of profit. To get out of it, they're going to need to hit the buy button, right? You've also got lots of institutions in here who have been longing it, caught offside. And I'm talking banks, institutions, hedge funds, prop desks, big players. What they will need to do is go into drawdown and dollar average out of the position trade it. Yeah. So their interest is buying. The bank's interest is buying at some point. So when these propulsion gaps are formed, there is an awful lot of interest getting back to these levels. Yeah. Depending on the size of the movement will depend on how long those take to get completed. Yeah. So you can use them for two things. First of all, when you get to these levels, what you find is moves tend to stop. So sometimes what you'll find is like this one here, you get to it and they go, finally, sorted. And then we run away from it. Yeah, here. Other times you'll use it for a bounce point. So if it's a very, very recent one, what often happens is, as you can see from this one here, this is a good example, that one there. Yeah, price pushes away, comes back to it, and it bounces out of it. And that's because the banks and institutions that started this move, this is part of a long-term hold or long-term position they're building, which means that when it gets back to this place that they started the move from, they add more size, more volume into their position, which drives it further away. Yeah. And then we had this propulsion gap started there, where they again added more size. So this is the banks forming a market structure. Buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. Yeah, market structure. So you can use them either if they're recent as a potential bounce point if you've got a long bias, or you could use them for a mean reversion target. Entirely up to you. Either way, if you look on this chart here, I'll make them clearer for you so you can probably see it better. Let's pick a color that stands out, Lee, rather than another blue, shall we? Let's go with gold. Probably better to see. Because we like gold, don't we? Yeah? As you can see from this chart, every single propulsion gap on this chart, once it's formed, price has traded back into it, apart from two. So where do you think we're going shortly? Yeah. Buy cycle, extended RSI, sell cycle. We're coming back up to this one. This is nearly a month old. This is 2nd of February. So this is a 6-week cycle. Funnily enough, the futures market runs in 6 to 12 week cycles, which is why we use the 24, the 72 moving averages, your monthly and your quarterly moving averages. Yeah, it's all tied in. It's all the indicators I have on my chart have all got reasons for being there. Yeah, I don't just stick stuff on there for fun to make it look pretty. These are targets. So if you're scaling into a position, if you've gone long here, for example, right, and you're scaling in on the hourly chart to a position, and the position starts to play out and you see new market structure forming, you can have a target to aim for. I don't use it like this personally because I like to bank fast, as fast as I can. But if I'm in a position and I don't see an upside target, it worries me, because if there's no upside targets to reach for, there's no reason for the market to go back in that direction. So that worries me because it means that we can continue to go down, which means I get squeezed. So whenever you get into a position like I'm getting into a short here, I'm not really worried. I'm fully expecting at some point it to come up into here, which means I'm going to take a third position. But where do you think it's going to come after it's done this? Certainly going to test that area. Where's my average? Here. So as long as it comes back and tests that propulsion, or that propulsion, I have an exit on my position, so I can't lose money. Nasdaq's flying, guys and gals, and them and theys. I don't know if there's any of you in here, but welcome. So yeah, that's how I use those. Oh, what? I haven't got WRB set. That's the wrong color. There you go. I'm going to go play in traffic. Ryan, I'm going to start switching my coffee soon. I never get a chance to have a bloody coffee anymore because I'm on here all the time. My morning and afternoon coffees. I used to have a morning and afternoon coffee after the live rooms. I don't have it anymore because it's either lunch or going to exercise class time. Do you have some good trades to buy or sell? Yep. Long Euro CAD, long Euro US dollar, and short Aussie New Zealand. I'm joking. Don't do that. Do it the opposite. Long, short Euro US dollar, short Euro CAD, and long Aussie New Zealand. Yeah. Who's in the bingo card? Do you have EMAs on it or W&M patterns? Paul. What do you mean? Is that a joke, or are you actually asking that as a serious question? If you are, that's absolutely fine. But this is what the market reverse alerts indicator does. It shows you M patterns. And I have moving averages, yes, only on the higher time frame charts. But I don't really use them because I can kind of see what the price is doing anyway. But you want to be selling Aussie New Zealand long term. Short term, that's going to pull back for a sell. I'm going to go and play in traffic again. Seymour sent an ambulance. Sukun Hai Karbala. Gold. You have won the prize for asking about gold. Congratulations. You are the first person to ask about gold. I don't trade gold. I have already done an analysis of it. I would sell it. I'm going to invest in calendar futures. Thank you. Michael said thank you. There are some texts on arb trading wheat and corn from farmers. Use wheat as pig fodder, then when it's cheap. Yeah, they do that, don't they? I was watching Clarkson's farm, and they had some spoiled crops, and they just give it to the pigs, don't they? Then, as supply and demand changes, corn becomes cheaper to give to the pigs. Supposedly continuous pendulum motion, probably. Similar concepts to other futures, arbs. They all work until they don't, and you're bust. The trouble with all that stuff is there's so much knowledge and research that you need and you need to get involved in. It's just overly complex for, and it's for the big boys. Let the big boys do it. That's their stuff. US dollar yen, daily chart, head and shoulders, Franco has spotted. I'm looking. I can't see it. I can't see a head and shoulders there. Am I not scaled out enough? No, you've got me. I can't find a head and shoulders there. I'm looking for one. I can see half a Batman that failed. What it should have done is that. But what it actually did was have a news event. Again, all this Elliott wave, Gartley's, harmonics, all completely flies out the window when there's news. Useless. Totally useless. When there's news. Fine otherwise, but it's totally useless in news. You're supposed to wait for harmonic to play out and trade the end of the pattern. Yeah, you can do that as well. But then what happens at the end of the pattern? You know, I don't know. Can't be bothered. It's killing me today. Head and shoulders, US dollar yen. You're gonna have to draw it, Franco. I can't see it. I'm looking on H4. I can see one on H4. Very weird though. The guy's got a very funny left shoulder look. Boom. But again, it's a news event. That's not a head and shoulders. That's a news event. This didn't do that because there was a news event coming up. That's just what was happening. The news event caused a massive spike down. It's not a load more buying coming in. I really wish I'd have taken the Nasdaq this morning. However, I love it for a short. So this big short zone here coming up. We're an ADR hit in a minute. We've got that previous high before FOMC, and we've got FOMC high. So this zone here, which is less than a quarter of an ADR. So there's your 125 ADR. So that's a quarter ADR. So this whole zone here, if you shorted it right there and it didn't work, and you took another trade right there, I reckon you've got a very good chance of the candle closing with a wick open. So it look exactly like that, the candle. So the open has no down wick. We literally went from the open straight up. And then we pushed in New York up to here. So this is where our wick formation comes in. Like the look of it. Time school run. Oh, welcome's off on the school run. That's one of Tom Hugard's strategies. Somebody contacted me on MQL5 yesterday, or the day before, who wants to trade Tom Hugard's school run strategy with the opening range breakout EA, which it will do very well. So that's the second 15 minutes, which is basically, so there's your 15-minute ORB. So his strategy is that candle, and that candle. So it's pretty much, in this case, it's the same. So his strategy broke there. My strategy broke virtually the same spot. So yeah, same thing. If there's any Tom Hugard disciples out there, you can use the ORB EA to do that. Your MQL5 signal, is it just auto or with drawdown control? It's 95% auto, Joaquin. Yeah, the signal's 95% auto. I think there's a link in the. Oh no, hang on, hold on. Sorry, there's a link in here. That one. So you can see it's 95% algo. I stepped in and did some drawdown control during the Ukraine war. When the Ukraine war broke out, I stepped in and did some DD control because we got to 48% drawdown. But we only got to 48% drawdown because of the Ukraine war. Yeah. So, you know, there's not many EAs out there you will find that survive something like a war breaking out. Yeah, the markets went nuts, didn't they? It's a bit like nowhere near as bad as COVID, but markets went crazy. So that's why it says 95%. But look at the returns, yeah? We're not buying Lamborghinis here. We're just making money out the markets, 174% in 76 weeks. 100% year last year, look. On full auto, apart from Ukraine. If I hadn't stepped in, it would have actually held. I stepped in. Can't remember what pair it was. It was the euro, I think. Yeah, it was the euro, wasn't it? So I stepped in on the euro. That was where are we? March last year, wasn't it? There you go. So we made 7% that month. Oh, is it? It's one of those. It was either February, March, or April, wasn't it? Last year, the war started. Yeah, it's the year anniversary, wasn't it? In March. So still banked 7. Can't go wrong. There we go. Nice rejection off of ADR. So if you fancy a sell, that's a big old run, isn't it? We've got lots of downside targets, so you could scale into 2 or 3 positions on that. Stop above there. If it gets up there, get out if you want. That's pretty extended. Still no bloody ADRs today. Look at this. It's awful. 3 major news events, no ADRs. Can't really do much about that, can you? And the only ADR we've had today, literally, we got. This is what I was saying about the wide range bars, yeah, and how you use wide range bars or propulsion gaps in your trading. I'd be happy to take that trade because we've got targets to the upside. They're very little, and it is 5 minutes, so they're always going to be smaller. But we've also got targets to the downside. So when you take an ADR, you're thinking, or I'm thinking here, what's going to happen next? Well, we're either going to come down and we're going to complete these and then come up and complete these, or we're going to come up and complete these and then we're going to go and complete those. Those are the 2 scenarios. So I get in, my plan is to get a second, or my plan is just to get out. Use them as targets and use them as places to get into positions. It's like a roadmap of where price is going to go in the future. Nothing's guaranteed, obviously, and they do get missed, but it just gives you that confidence that at some point Aussie dollar CAD is going to pull back. And it's on its way now, isn't it? But, you know, potentially that's a flag. Bingo, Brian. Yes, we got bingo. How do you get MT4 to draw your averages, i.e. when you have 2 or more trades? So there's an indicator. It's all on the website under indicators, other indicators and template. Yeah, it's called BE average, break-even line indicator, ME break-even. I'll give you a link to that page. So that will, when you, it basically draws a line at the average price. So if you only have 1 trade on, like CAD Swiss, yeah, it will draw at my entry. If you have 2 trades on, like EuroCAD, it will draw my average price, which is there, which is always going to be roughly somewhere between the 2, depending on the contracts, the lot sizes that are entered. If you have a hideous one, like Pound CAD, still haven't banked anything today, look. there's my average on those 4. So it just does it automatically. Yeah, lost enough. Yeah, head and shoulders on the daily. See you in about 6 months. You should go on the Trading Nut podcast. I know I should. It'd be so cool, wouldn't it? I'd like to do a podcast. It'd be quite amusing. We've got a double wick forming on. So NASDAQ, we've got an inside bar on a reversal candle. Nice shooting star. So pending order under the low would be my entry, first entry. If I was going to add a second, this propulsion gap here is either going to find buyers or it's going to get slaughtered and we're going to head back down. So I'll probably put a second entry under there. So that would be your pending. $128.68. Whoa. Wow, that's different, isn't it? That my Forex funds, that level's 128.68. On this platform, it's 128.81. Shows you the difference. So Robo Forex, you know, we're talking about futures. This is the cash market. Yeah, the futures market is trading at a totally different price because the my Forex funds is futures pricing. There you go. So if you fancied that short, you're in. Tim the Money, Hugard, great book. Too stressful to trade anything like he does. My neurons don't fire that fast. No, me too. Very good book. Trading in the Zone. Name of his book. Hang on, let me get it. Best Loser Wins. So it's on my desk. Forgot the name of it. Best Loser Wins. Good book, Tom. Very good trader, but like Tim's just said, not for me. I can't think that fast either. If Tom was in this trade now, right, he would have got in there and he'd be out here. He's out already. As soon as it got to there, he'd have his stop loss at break even and he's out and he's made 6K. Nuts. Can't do it. Steamot, my gold scalper will survive anything. Lambo is on order. I want your gold scalper. I like the idea of your gold scalper. I like the idea of any scalper that buys a Lambo. How did the workout with the wife go? Excellent. God, my arms today. Not that sort of workout. No, we went to a new class last night called body conditioning. And it basically turns out it's 15 minutes of cardio, jumping around like a lunatic, going woo, side to side, hop forward, run backwards, all that sort of stuff. And then 15 minutes of body pump, which is a Les Mills class, which is weights-based. And then 15 minutes of abs and core, which is basically doing loads of sit-ups and planks. So my shoulders hurt, my neck hurts, my abs hurt, and my legs hurt from jumping around a lot. So basically, it is exactly what it said, body conditioning, or body destroying in our case, because it's the first time we've done it. But it's pretty good. My cardio's down. I've had 6 weeks off of spinning. I do 8 spin classes a week. And I've had 6 weeks off. So it's my first week back spinning properly this week. And my cardio is down so much. My normal FTP, which is your functional threshold power, if anybody knows about it in cycling, my normal FTP is 265 and I'm putting out 220 at the moment after 6 weeks. It's a big drop. So I've got a lot of work to do. Got to get off these drugs as well. Buying a hot dog stand, looking better and better. Go for it, Franco. I reckon they make a lot of money, those hot dog vendors. Same Raymond, do you have that set file shared somewhere that you are using in your MQR5 signal? Yep, It's basically this one here. It's in here. There. And it's the H1M5 set file. So it's GU M15 mean reversion. Just stick that on the 5-minute chart instead, using hourly instead of 4-hourly RSI extensions. That's CrossFit, is it? The best way to do a blown knee? Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is CrossFit. I don't know. Leisure centres all call stuff different stuff, don't they? Because they probably have copyright issues with, especially with Les Mills. But so if you're in that short, we're either going to buy out of this propulsion, or, as I said, we're going to come down and just have a little flush and say around here somewhere. Or we could obviously just do an A-shaped recovery and end up where we started, which I wouldn't be surprised about today, to be honest, seeing as the market's dead. I've never talked so much in my life. There's literally nothing going on. Nothing is moving. It's terrible. Do you have statistics from H1M5 EA? How many 1 position, 2 position, 3 position, GD control? No. Or you can, derp, yarp. You can find that out yourself. If you go to the signal and go to trading history and download this lot, export to CSV. I don't know what the difference between trading and history is, but so download all the trades it's taken. And if you're clever in Excel, you can put together a little sheet of when they were closed, a little analysis of when they're closed. So, for example, Euro odd, 16.12, these trades were closed. So that tells you that that was a basket of 3 positions. Yeah. These two were closed together, Euro New Zealand. They both closed at 14.47. So that was a basket of 2 positions. That was a basket of, those are separates. So those were 2 separate trades, just happened to close at different times. Just trying to find a bigger basket. Euro pound 3. Or you could just scan through this and go, yeah, there's a 3. There's a 2, there's a 2, there's a 1, there's a 1, there's a 1, there's a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a 5. So Aussie New Zealand, that took 5 positions. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I mean, there's not much gets above 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. So Euro US dollar there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 positions there on Euro US dollar. Closed out on the 6th of February. I haven't got. That EA is so slow. Euro US dollar, 6th of February. So let's have a look at it. 6th of Feb. So they all closed here. What was they? Were they buys or sells? Sells, right? Yeah, that makes sense. So it closed out there on the 6th of Feb. Let's try to find it. Hang on. we closed that somewhere there. So there were sells. So I would imagine that was your entry one. And then your scalings were through here. There's no exits, look, no pullbacks. You had a pullback there, but that wasn't enough to get you out in a position. Pulled back, not enough. Another entry up there. So we took 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, 5, 6, something like that, and got out there. So that was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 22-day hold. Yeah. Tell it like it is. I'm not hiding anything. You will get into pains in the arse with this strategy, but you will get out. The market has to go both ways. Or it can go into a catastrophic collapse, in which case then you'll be scaling out of it so fast that you will get out, but you won't get many of those a year, if any. I can't see anything else in there that's any. There's a 4 there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 US dollar CADs in a row there. So that was a 6 as well. Good, they all get out. New Zealand, US, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And obviously with all of these, you know, you'll have the odd scale out on the way as well. So yeah, anyway, there you go. You can go and do your own analysis. The signal's been running for 72 weeks now, I think it is, isn't it? 76 weeks. Big sales coming in on the NASDAQ if you took that short. This is where I'd be adding a second underneath this low. Just underneath it, not on it, because that might double bottom. Always underneath. Don't get too greedy on it, though, because that's a big old push. We're just basically playing the pullback at the moment, potentially. Right, I haven't done much analysis today, have I? Bit of crap, isn't it? Oh, God, get away from them. Do dumbbells work out and walking? What's that? The CrossFit stuff. Yeah. I did enjoy it, but my God. Yeah. What's up, man? Anything to say on WTI? Hey, Huang. How's it going, Huang? WTI. Haven't looked at WTI today. So still waiting for it to get back to here. It's on its way. Nearly there. So that was the trade we looked at taking. It's nearly there. And when it gets there, it will come back down to here. And then when it comes down to there, I would expect it to go up to there. So right now, I would give it a little bit of a long, but don't blame me if it comes down to there before it goes back up to there. Oil is going up. Can't go much lower than it is. It's at a level where it's going to be very difficult to trade. Not for us, for people that make petrol and stuff. Don't think we're going to get much lower than 65 a barrel. That's very, very low for oil. Just sent you a screenshot of the latest testing on Telegram, Seymour. Oh, here we go. Seymour's showing off his gold strategy. Look, you watch, everyone's going to be DMing you now. That's better. Now that first one, that's a 10K account over 4 days. And a 10, what's that? A 10 out of sample testing over the last 4 years. You can't show me 4 days and then show me 4 years. That's not out of sample. That first test you need to do over 3 months, I would say. right? Get the strategy optimized over 3 months, and then take that optimized strategy and then test that over a previous 18-month period and see if you get a similar P&L. But yeah, I'll buy it. Trouble is, it trades gold, so if I buy it, it will never work because it doesn't work with me. Gold and I, nah, not interested. Anybody short on the Nasdaq? You are, if you're taking my advice, which you shouldn't do because I'm not a trusted professional and I do not offer trading advice because I'm just a bloke sitting in a room. But if you had taken that short, it's nicely working. I'm 64 and still at peace of, well, you know, and still a piece of, well, you know. Just thinking, yes, very, very late. I know, Cabbage, you are late. But I'm back to in the office from vacation. Had to stop by and drop a like in the stream. Thank you very much. 58 likes. Normally get 100 and something plus, but normally we have like 160 people in here. It's 81 because it's New York and nobody likes New York. Everybody's doing something else today, aren't they? Trading oil by the looks of things. That's actually moving. How'd you get that website on MQL5 with your trade? What this? This is a signal. So I've got a VPS run. I've got 3 VPSs running. This one, another one which I run all my lives on, and I've got another one which I run a signal on, and I run another long-term strategy which is an S&P strategy. So this is running on. I'll show you it live in the real world. Look, I won't give you the IP address. Crap, which one is it? That one. Oh. Jesus. Right, so it's this account here. Yeah. There you go. All-time profit, 34,873. 34,873. So it's this account. On this, it's an IC Markets account. There's all the pairs. Here's the market reversal. That's EA running on it. It's all in high resolution, so you can't see anything on this, but that's it. Yeah. So this is the VPS that runs the signal. As you can see, it's only banked £301 this week because the market's been what? Like that. There you go. So that's where the signal runs from, that VPS. That I never log into because it's not it's different VPS. And it's a lot slower, a lot less powerful, but it's only running 2 accounts, so it doesn't matter. Shuffling positions in the green now. That's always good. My CAD yen is turning into that Euro US dollar of yours you just showed. Did you use your sentiment data when you entered? No. So the sentiment data has nothing to do, directional data, everything on the buyer scorecard. That signal that is running is literally running pure market reverse alerts EA. That's it. It's literally told every time you get above H1, short it. Every time you get below H1, short it, long it. Short it, long it. Yeah, so it's just running that set file on full auto. It's not doing anything complex. It is limited to pairs. So the if you look at the statistics, these are the pairs it's running on. Only these pairs. Yeah, and the reason it's running on these pairs is to keep the exposure down. Because if I run it on every single pair, obviously it's going to get overexposed. So it runs only on selected pairs so that it doesn't get too much exposure. It can, on certain things like the euro, it can get overexposed. And on the US dollar, it can get overexposed. But it won't get overexposed on the Swiss, the yen, the pound, the New Zealand, or the Aussie, or the CAD. The ones you need to worry about the most are the yen and the Swiss franc. Those two are usually the ones that are the ones that kill you and squeeze you, and quite sometimes as well the Aussie dollar. The pound, the euro, and the US dollar, because they are the main, well, the euro and the US dollar, because they're the main currencies, they have so much push and pull on them, they don't often squeeze. When you find a squeeze on a US dollar pair like US dollar Swiss, for example, this is usually the Swiss franc that's responsible for the squeeze, not the US dollar. Unless there's something catastrophic happens in the area, yeah, like a war, euro. That's why we went into that squeeze on the euro, because there was a war. If something happens in the US, like a run on government, and they unseat government with their guns and start shooting up in the air and take over the country, the US dollar is going to go quite bad, isn't it? There's no EA on the planet that is going to survive that. Even EAs with stop losses, yeah, they will be taking trades and they will be getting stopped out over and over again. Everything blows an account when there's a catastrophic incident. So that's why that drawdown there is there, because the Ukraine war started and this thing's trading euro. It survived. I did do a little intervention to help it with, I literally did, I think two. I did it in the live room. I did it in here. I have no idea when it was, but I did it with two aggressive drawdown control positions to get out of one of the euro pairs, which it just worked straight away, out in a day, done, flat. You can probably see the drawdown equity curve actually. Oh, there you go, look. Was it? When did the war kick off? Oh, when was it? Actually, it was further back here, wasn't it? Oh, there you go. You see it here, March 22. There it is, look, March 22. That was the Ukraine war. We had another blip in September 22. What happened in September 22, everybody? Swiss franc. Yeah, September 22. What happened? Oh, no, it wasn't. It was June. Forget that. It wasn't that one. It was an interest rate change. Maybe it was, who else was it? Who did it? Who was it? Somebody changed their interest rates and they didn't tell us. So one of the pairs went nuts. But it came back. It always does. Everything that goes down has to come up because there's a load of people sitting on it with money in one direction. They need to get out. David, Lee, as a trader, when you're in a position such as EuroCAD sells and you see this little pop up on the EuroCAD is showing, how do you handle that? EuroCAD. Right. What, this? There's nothing to handle, is there? I'm in two positions on it. It's just popped up. Now it's coming down again. One or two things is going to happen on this. Always go out and have a look for resistance, which I'm not sure what that level is. That level is definitely valid, that high. So there's this high here I think I'm probably looking at. Yeah, so these are the wicks, and there's some highs here. This level I've probably looked back at, yeah, and it's been rejected multiple times. So I'm looking at this as a zone for a short. So there's one or two things that's going to happen. It's going to come back down and it's going to retest the propulsion gaps to the low, or it's going to push up further and then come back down and retest the propulsion gaps to the low. So it's exactly the same principle. I'm in two positions right now on it. And if it pushes up another ADR, I take a third position and wait for the propulsion move back down, because it's climbing. At some point, it's going to do that. Can't really see any other instances where it's run, but yeah. Is that what you mean? This isn't a pop-up. If you're talking about this is just part of today's price action. We've had 2 ADRs on it. What's the ADR? 131. Look. So we've had a 154, a 175. And now we're having some kind of price action like that, maybe. I don't know. But we've got these propulsion gaps down here, which it will eventually come back down to. But I'm not going to be that greedy. I will get out here. Or whenever I get, the EA will get me out. When the EA gets me out, it's going to get me out with half an ADR or the monetary value that's set. Hopefully that's what you meant. DIP, I took Aussie dollar CAD long. You took that one, did you? Did it work? Yeah, looks like it's working. Good job. So that was the ADR reversal today. The ADR, the one. There's your reversal alert. We're off. That's it. Hard to pick a target, but I would say 50% retracement looks pretty good. But I wouldn't be that greedy, to be honest. What's that? 28. I'd go 19 on it. Or 37. Anyway, 28, that's fine. Take that. Go for the middle. Go for the middle ground. Could be a flag. I notice when US dollar isn't moving, everything is quiet. Yeah, US dollar is the world's currency. So US dollar, the majors, this is why we call them the majors. Yeah, Aussie dollar, US dollar, New Zealand US dollar, pound US dollar, euro US dollar yen, US dollar CAD, US dollar Swiss. US dollar is the major cross. It's the world's currency. Everything out there is traded in US dollars if it's not traded in its home currency. All the markets are traded in the US dollar. Most of the broker deposits are US dollar based. So everything is US dollars. So when the US dollar has got nothing to do, i.e. after a massive FOMC, it's exhausted itself and it can't be bothered, stuff just dies because there's no liquidity to trade with the US dollar. So you'll find the crosses will move, a la Aussie dollar CAD, yeah? We've got an ADR hit on this because it's not US dollar based. Stuff that isn't US dollar based will tend to move, but most stuff is. So yeah, it just, you do get quiet days. There's nothing you can do. Just have to sit here. These are the days you get zeros. That you can't bank anything if nothing's moving. I can bank stuff. I mean, I can bank that, I can bank that, I can bank all this stuff, couldn't I? But you know, it's just, you just have to sit and wait. Sit and wait. I thought people could access the trade history and chart webpage on MQL to see the breakdown of trades taken. Yeah, we just done that, Tim. Somebody, you say this every day, Tim, in here. Like, you keep saying questions. I answer your questions, and you say you didn't answer my question. I've been through all this in quite a lot of detail, how to export this. We went through it for days. I went through it, not for days, for ages. I went through 4 pages. And I showed you the tabs with the statistics and stuff in it. Your risks, your slippage across different... See, these are all the people that are following this signal, what they're in and what slippage they're getting. 57 people trading on a BML demo account, and they got a 0.7 pip slippage. It's quite interesting to see all these different brokers people are on. I don't recognize any of these. I know that one. Look at that. Traders Global Group. Who's that? My Forex funds. Anybody else trading prop off my signal? Lego Market. I wouldn't play with that one. FTMO. Jesus. 244? What is this? Number of people copied, or is this number of trades that have been copied? That's a lot. Look at all these people trying to pass FTMO with my signal. That can't be right, can it? That can't be people. I don't know. They won't pass with that. Oh, look, it tells you the slippage and everything as well. Oh, blimey, I've never seen this before. I like this. Oh, right, this is number of trades. Okay, yeah, this isn't people. It's 244 trades have been taken on FTMO with the signal. These are the pairs. They didn't get any slippage difference on these. US dollar Swiss, they got a bit of slippage. They got a bit of slippage there. Pound US dollar, 3.5 pip slippage. That's big, isn't it? Well, it's not big because it's an H1 strategy. So what's 3.5 pips on an hourly candle? Nothing, is it? Where was the Traders Global? Oh, no. Oh, that's right. So you're going to say that's what was going to take me off to some other website. No slippage at all. Someone only took 2 trades on it. Depressing. Don't trade with INFX, people. Look at the slippage on the yen. 7 pips. This is interesting for showing you how much slippage you get on different brokers, isn't it? I haven't ever looked at this. Euro New Zealand, 10 pip slippage. Royal Financials, run. Crikey. Anyway, sell still going. Market structure shift. High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Notice when US dollar, yes, so that one. Would someone like to shoot Euro US dollar down? Not today. Not going anywhere today. Dead day today. Found little on position trading when I was searching. You pop up. Very little elsewhere. You found little on position trading. Why do you think that is? No one is interested in stop loss, non-stop loss strategies. I guess. I don't know. eToro. Position trading is a popular long-term trading strategy that allows individual traders to hold positions for a long period of time, which is usually months or years. Not in my case, it isn't. Position traders ignore short-term price movements and prefer to rely on more precise fundamental analysis and long-term trends. I don't come up. That's annoying. You see, I don't do anything. I don't do marketing and all that sort of stuff. Nothing of interest there. Right. Sorry, let me just get back to. I was just writing something down. I use these old pen things and paper occasionally. It's really weird. Didn't you once say that H1, M5 and ADR reversal strategies give quite similar entry signals, whereas the H4, M15 give different entry signals? Yeah. So you will find sometimes they're very similar. So H1, so this is ADR. So ADR, we've got Aussie CAD, Aussie Swiss, Swiss yen, Euro yen, pound US, New Zealand CAD, New Zealand US. H1, we've got the same pairs. We've also got more pairs because there's more pairs have exceeded ADR than have hit exceeded RSI than have hit ADR. But obviously the reason that is when you get an ADR hit, which again, Aussie CAD, we haven't today, but a lot of the time when you get an ADR move, so that's an ADR hit to the downside, that trade there, RSI is also going to get extended on the hourly because to hit ADR, you've got to move fast in one direction. So if you look at NASDAQ now, it's probably extended on the RSI as well. Look. There. So NASDAQ's extended on the RSI. So it got from here all the way up to there because we've had a strong movement, which has hit our average daily range. So you will often get similar signals. Sometimes you won't, though. again, this is why I said, all those strategies are out there for position trading. They all work with position trading. If you use all of them at the same time, you are probably going to over leverage yourself. So, stick to a strategy or use a mix of strategies, but try not to over leverage across all instruments, or use all of the strategies, but try and stay in line with the buyer scorecard. Then you've got half a chance of not getting into a squeeze, haven't you? I haven't looked at sentiment today, have I, at all? Getting bored of sentiment. Just not my way of trading. Got to get that EA done. Sponge traders. There's a lot of those out there. I always have US dollar index on the charts too to watch. What does that do for you though? Durpin. How does that help you, having the US dollar index open? Because I used to have the US dollar index open and I just found that there's not any benefit, because I can tell what the US dollar is doing very quickly by just going like that. Yeah. Because if the US dollar is moving up across these three instruments, which are all majors, the US dollar is rallying. Or I can look at Euro US dollar, which is the inverse of the Dixie, and tell what's going on with the dollar index. So I just found it another chart that's not much use, really. Potgeiter, good afternoon. I be able to pass the evaluation test with the market reversal indicator? I don't know. Ask Happy FX using their 95% accuracy, as Lax just said. Crappy FX. Yeah. I don't know, Potgeiter. How can anybody answer that question? Are you, as a trader, able to pass an evaluation using an indicator? No one can answer that question for you. So if you took every M15 reversal alert, no, because market structure doesn't hold all the time. If you took every M15 reversal alert that occurred against retail sentiment, yeah, you might have a good chance. If you took every M15 reversal alert that occurred at a resistance level, yeah. If you took every M5 reversal alert at ADR 125, maybe. But I can't answer that question, because how many ADR 125 M5 reversal alerts are going to work this week, month, year? I haven't got a clue. Because I don't know what the future is going to hold. So if you took every 125, which is a decent extension, you've got a very good chance. But again, if you took a 125 ADR extension with the reversal alert indicator, yeah, whether that trade works or not is not dependent on the indicator. What is it dependent on? Price movement and where you put your stop and where you put your TP. So give the market reversal alert indicator to 100 people and tell them to take a trade at 125 ADR only for a week, you will get 100 different P&Ls back, because no one is going to put their stop and their take profit in the same place. Some people will get in up there, they'll have a stop up here and they'll have a TP down here. Some people will get up there and they'll have a stop there and they'll have a TP there. Some people will have a stop somewhere around there and a TP back at that high. Yeah, there's absolutely no way to answer the question as to whether an indicator can pass an evaluation. Traders pass evaluations, indicators give you signals. There's a lovely M pattern short signal on Euro US dollar right now. I have no idea if it's going to test that now or whether we're going to fly out that high and come back and do it next week. But take it short, stick your stop there, stick your TP down there, do that 8 times with 1%, and you will pass. Ta-da! I don't know. It's an honest answer, isn't it? But yeah, it's a really good indicator. But on its own, you can't. I had this guy. I'm not going to go into details, but I had this guy on MQL5 harassing me to death slagging off the indicator. What a load of shit. It repaints all the time. I've taken 100 trades with it. I've lost 85 of them. Did you take every signal it gave? Of course I did. Did you watch any of the videos? What videos? Back to square one. Yeah, there are so many people out there that just want to buy an indicator, and every time it gives them an arrow, press a button, and then put a stop loss, and then go, oh, I'll go for a 9-to-1. Why? Yeah, and basically this guy's strategy was to get in on every reversal alert with a 3-to-1 R. Like, what on earth gives you the indication you're going to get a 3-to-1 R out of a market that's only got a 2R return in it based on where your stop loss is because it's 400 ADR? It's just ridiculous. No one can answer any question like that at all. I'm not saying I'm not having a go at you, Potgaiter, obviously. I'm just saying I can't answer the question. That bloke in MQL5, he was an idiot. I have very little time for idiots, as you know. You're not an idiot, though. There's no, but I can't tell you. All I would say is, yes, but use them at logical areas. So only get into reversal alerts. If I was using just the indicator on prop, and you can test this with the market reversal alerts EA, yeah. I did it, didn't I? I did it in here the other day. Have I still got the set file? What was the set file I was using? I don't know. I think it was just that one. And what I did was that. I'll run it and see what happens. I don't know if this is going to work or not, or if this is actually the test that I did. But this is the not on the DAX. Oh, we'll try it on the DAX. This would be a good test, wouldn't it? I don't think this is going to work, to be honest. Let's see what happens. Will this even trade? Yes, it should do, shouldn't it? But yeah, basically, if you want to pass a proper valuation, you have to take really high probability trades. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking a reversal alert or taking a reversal alert retest if market conditions are right. So if you trade something like M15, M5 is if you want to, but your return is going to go down dramatically on M5. Only take those when you have an extension above 80 on the RSI, on the hourly chart, or the 4-hourly chart, even better, or you've got an ADR extension beyond 125, and use half an ADR as a stop loss. Give yourself room to move, and then use 3/4 of an ADR as a TP. I did the back test on this, and I showed it in here on Tuesday, was it? Monday, one day this week. And I showed the equity curve on it. And the whole point of that was to prove a point that you will have a losing run and you'll have a winning run. Whether you have the losing run when you start or the winning run when you start the evaluation is what makes you pass or fail, yeah? But that strategy works. It passed prop in a period of time. So yeah, of course you can pass with the indicator. You can pass with any indicator, but whether or not you pass with the indicator is something that is very difficult to control. This isn't going to work on the DAX. What did I test it on? The pound US dollar. I don't even know if this is set right. TP, yes. No, it's not, because we've got fake stop losses set. There we go. Oh, we're getting a lot of accumulation on the NASDAQ. So if you're in the short, you're still in it. If you got in, it hasn't gone anywhere. You're stuck. if that takes any trades. Homework maker. You are? All right. I've gotten smarter listening to you these last months. How? I just talk drivel all day long. Only because you point me in the right direction and help me focus my strategies. Yeah. Durban to see if it runs in direction. Yeah, as I say, I can determine whether the US dollar is strong or not on using indices and other instruments. So, but if it helps you, use it, definitely. Not taking any trades, is it? Ooh, an alert. Oh, everybody, quick! We've got an alert. Something's moved. Oh, something's moved. US dollar Swiss has moved, everybody. I wouldn't call that moving, would you? We're still within the London range. It's not moved, is it? My God. 4-hour RSI extension. Long. Already long. It's not something we can act on. Stand down. Why is that not taking any trades? I must have something set wrong in it. Anyway. Can you apply your strategies to the oil market, considering sometime it takes a month for the market to swing back to the losing position? Yes. So I've position traded oil. I position traded oil quite successfully, actually. So in here, where did I get stopped out? Diamond might know this because he was here. So I think it was in here or somewhere. I was position trading around here. Works fine. So I don't know where you get this month from to correct itself, but you know, for example, here looking at the 4-hour RSI, you would have got in there. You'd have scaled into that and out there. That's not a month. 4-hour RSI extension there, that worked. 4-hour RSI extension there, that would have taken a couple of positions before you got out. You'd have got in here and out. You'd have got in here and out, here and out, here. You'd have scaled in and out. That would have taken a while. Well, not a while, is it? Really? What's that? 14th of February to the 6th of March, 2 weeks. So there's not more than 2 to 3 weeks before you're in and out. It's exactly the same as any other instrument. The danger with oil, and it's very same as gold, if you did get that NASDAQ trade on and you're in profit on it or anything, I would just be careful, reduce your risk, because this isn't going. What I was expecting this to do was go. It's not. It's stuck. So this could just be a flag for a new high. So just be careful with that if you are in it. There we go. So we're taking some trades. I have no idea what the hell that's doing. Has I got a trading stop on it or something? This isn't the test I did, was it? The test I did the other day was a lot faster. This isn't set up right at all. We can stop that. Forget that. That's not right. What was I talking about? Oil. Yeah, so I don't see anything that would take a month to get out of. The same for the short opportunities. Straight out, sitting it for a bit and out, 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 out. That one there, you would have got short there, scale, out. Yeah. So yeah, you can do it on oil. It's not a problem. The thing I don't like about it is the speed of movement. It's when I was trading it, it's a bit scary. And the other reason I'm uncertain about it is because I have only started trading it sort of last year, end of last year, and I'm not familiar with its movements and what drives it. So it's a supply and demand driven instrument commodity. However, the only news we get about this is oil inventories every week, which is giving us the current supply levels. However, supply levels seem to have no impact on price movement. Regardless of whether the figure comes out as a positive or negative, this thing moves up or down, whatever it wants to do. So it's very difficult to gauge what makes this thing move. So that's personally why I just don't trade it. I've got 28 FX pairs at my disposal, one of which I've just dragged all the way down there. So I just don't trade it. I analyze it because a lot of people are trading it, and I think I will go back into it because I'm calling it right a lot of the time. But when I'm calling it wrong, that scares me. The speed of that drop scares me because I don't know what will happen if something goes wrong with oil, for example, an oil depot blows up in America and all of a sudden supply from America to Canada's cut. I don't know what impact that has on this market. Nothing impacts the FX market in the way it can commodities and things like gold, which is why I don't trade gold. Because, holy crap, SVB bank's gone pop. Oh, that, when you're a position trader, is a horrible thing to be in. FX pairs don't do that. Yeah, so nothing wrong with trading in other ways. I've gotten smarter. See, I'm an educator. Can you apply your strats well? Just answered that one. How do you get over losses, Kenny? That's a big question. How do you get over losses? You just get over them. I don't know. You're asking the wrong person because I don't really take losses. So the way that I trade, I know that I'm going to have months where it's going to be hard and I'm going to produce 5% for the month. And I'm going to have months where I'm going to have to scale out and do drawdown control on pairs, and aggressive drawdown control is just not going to work. And I'm just going to have to get out. I have months like that as well. And you just have to take the losses and move on. What's happened yesterday is irrelevant today. I've been sitting in 15% of drawdown in the morning, and I've been sitting in 7% of profit with 2% of drawdown in the afternoon. Yeah, one news event can completely reverse your entire situation, and often will, because the news event that happens is usually in the direction you want it to go, because you've been scaling into something the banks have been scaling into. When the news event comes and they need to manipulate it, 90% of the time they will do it your way because they want it to go that way too. So until you've sat through it and been through it, it's difficult. But when you've done it, you will not worry about losses. They happen. And so do the 25% plus months. They happen as well. You don't worry about the 25% plus months, do you? We don't worry about that stuff. Just, he kicks the monitor. Jesus, do you know how hard it would be to kick my monitor? You've seen my setup. I don't even get my leg that high. I can listen to you all day, but my girlfriend won't allow it. Well, get your girlfriend involved. There are lady traders. I know a good lady trader. She's a nice lady trader. I could listen to her all day long. I'm going to have to watch an advert now. I haven't had any good trading ads. See, I could listen to Sarah Strat Sniper all day long. Or watch her. It's a lady trader. Plenty of them out there. Get her involved. Get her on board. You're all going to go off and watch Sarah now, aren't you? I knew it. This is a great channel to learn and laugh. Last week, someone asked Lee to look at Euro, US dollar. Bro, like 5 times. I said I'm an only child. It's true. It's one thing when you get older, yeah. And we had this conversation with me and the wife the other day. When you get older, things start to annoy you more. And I'm not that old. I'm just about to turn 50, and things annoy my mum. I saw my mum for Mother's Day. She comes round. It's like she gets cross about the internet, and we're like, what? And she goes, I saw a really good property in the paper the other day, and I was like, it's gone, Mum. Oh, it only came out yesterday. Yeah, the paper came out. It comes out weekly. The property was on there 3 weeks ago, and it sold after a day. You know, she struggles with all that sort of stuff. And I'm saying to her, I'm going to start struggling with all this stuff. My kids come home and call me bro. I'm like, I'm not your bro. I'm your dad. And like people call me bro, and it's like really gets on my wick. It's just the way people talk now. But it's like, I'm not your bro. Shut up. It's like, how's it going, bro? I don't know. Who are you talking to? Looking over my shoulder. It's like, this stuff annoys you now when you get old, which makes people laugh, doesn't it? That's what comedy is all about, observational comedy. Not that I'm here to do observational comedy. I'm here to trade, but you got to laugh at the world these days. And I will be the same. When I get old, my kids will be turning around and going, you're doing what? Looking on the internet? Why didn't you just use the OpenAI chip in the back of your head? You wouldn't even have had to ask the question, Dad. Like, what? Moves too fast. Everything moves too fast. Girlfriend gives me the hairy eyeballs too. I haven't heard that before. Hairy eyeballs. Oh, I've got all sorts of visions going through my head now. There's a lady that goes to our spin class. She's got a beard. A proper beard. And I have to stare at her every time she comes in, and I'm just petrified of getting caught. Because you know she's just going to go, what are you looking at? And I can't help but turn around and go, your beard. And I'm just going to get into so much trouble. How successful is the strategy running long and short baskets parallel without filters? That, if you want to test that, Durpan, you get the M5. Sorry, you get the hedging set file. That's this one. No. ADR. Hedging. This set file basically hedges M5. And I don't think it uses any filters. I'll have to remember. Yeah. Sorry, no, it does. It uses M5, right? So this uses RSI filters, but it uses RSI filters on its own time frame, I think. It works really, really well, but in a squeeze, you will get hurt. And this is the whole reason I am running this forward test here. This is the same set file. Oh, it's done it again. It's reset. Look. Let me just reset it to the start of the test, which was the 14th. So this is doing really well. And this is running H1. So it's running the M5 hedging strategy, but it's running it on the hourly charts only. And it's using drawdown control of 1.5 ADR. Yeah. So this is a better way to run it. I'm running it basically just to test the max drawdown. But so far, this hit this hit 6. I think it hit 6% last week. And it's banked 9.3. So the reason I'm looking at this, and this is what the next question is going to be, which I've just seen, is to run it on prop. So it basically hedges on prop, which is what I'm going to look to use it for. But it's going to be very reliant on no squeezes happening when you run it. So whether that happens or not, I don't know. But the idea of it is, as you go one, so we've got 2 longs on and 1 short. So as we get squeezed on our longs, the short makes half an ADR. The longs, when they get to 1.5 ADR, they scale out of 1/3 of their positions. So it uses that money on that hedge to pay for the drawdown control, meaning that the exit becomes a profit. So the hedge pays for the drawdown control. The hedge works. So when you get 2 or 3 positions, they work beautifully. If it gets squeezed out further than 3 positions, it will probably come out at either a small loss or maybe a little profit. depending on how far and fast the ADR, the RSI, sorry, the market reversal alerts trigger, how far apart they are. Yeah, so this is in testing. I've done a load of research on drawdown control levels with hedging, which I ran live data on for a month or so, which is why you see this. If you go back in all history on this, that will go into a hideous negative. Hello, hideous negative, where are you? All history, there you go. So what it was running was the M5 hedge set file on every single pair, obviously. So it's hideously overexposed as well. But it was to test the drawdown levels with different ADR, different drawdown control based on ADR. So this is a live test of a new strategy, basically. Which is going well so far, but it's only been running for a week. So gold's pushing up, US dollar's dropping. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Gold's pushing on its own. So if you've got something happening, no, it's just more money running into gold at the moment. Right, let's just answer a couple more questions and I'm probably going to disappear. Derp, have tested it the whole weekend. Quick results. Have to make tests with drawdown control. Yeah, just test. David, a wise trader once said, to be a good trader, you have to be a good loser. Every loser wins. Best loser wins. Yeah. That's Tom Hugard's book. Best loser wins. Yeah, so it's totally true. You have to take losses. DAX is Nasdaq is back down at new lows. So it's still flagging. So I'd be cautious on this, but optimistically cautious if you're still in it. It's just finding it very, very hard to sell at the minute. So yeah, you just take losses basically. How do you feel when you blow a prop account? I buy another one. When I blow my prop accounts, I buy another one. There you go. Simple as that. I'll tell you why, Kenny. A 100K prop account with a 10K drawdown is what? A 10K account. So if you're trading a 100K account for prop, you're actually trading 10K. You're trading a 10K account. So treat it like a 10K account. If you're going to risk 1% on your 100K account, what are you actually risking? 10% of your drawdown allowance. Yeah. This is where everybody goes wrong. Oh, I'm only going to risk 1% a trade. No. You've only got 10K. You're risking 10% a trade. You're trying to compound it. Compounding is incredibly difficult because your failure rate is going to be very high depending on how you're trading. So that's what you have to do to pass, because if you're going to get a 10% increase on that account, for example, it's going to be quite difficult to do, isn't it? If you're only risking a tiny percentage, 0.1%, which is realistically what you're doing. So what I do is I run multiple prop accounts next to each other, evaluations, with multiple strategies, different trades in them. Very, very similar strategy, actually. It's not really multiple strategies. It's similar strategies. I do run multiple strategies, actually, because I run ORB on it now. But the thing is, I expect to blow a couple of those out. Sorry, one sec. So yeah, I expect to blow a couple of those accounts. So you just treat them like an account. So when you get this 10K account to trade, it costs you $500. Yeah, trading that account. So if I spend $1,500, I buy 3 accounts. If I trade them all realistically, as if they're 10K accounts and don't risk 10%, so let's say I risk 2% per trade, i.e. $200 risk per trade, not $1,000 risk per trade, it's highly likely I'm going to get one of those over the line. So the ones that fall by the wayside are just a cost of doing business. So the way I look at it is if I've got a $5,000 pot to trade with, that's 10 accounts I can buy. I'm going to lose some of those accounts. If you treat every one of your accounts like it's a trade, yeah, and you get a 50% strike rate, you're going to pass 5 evaluations. That's the way to look at it. Yeah, each of these trades counts that you take on, you have to look at them as if they're not that, they're this. Yeah. Sorry, my wife's just phoned. Let me just quickly see what that is. She might send me a text message. She's off at a spa today. Yeah, so dealing with prop account losses is just basically there's another account gone. Get another. The way that most people look at prop is they buy a prop account and they try and trade it for a month or 6 weeks to get past the evaluation. And by the time they get to the evaluation and get a funded account, they've had such a lucky run to get there that when they get the funded account, their luck fails and they go back to square one. 85% of funded accounts do not get a payout. They blow. And that has taken you usually somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks to achieve that. If you're going to do that, you're going to need to have 3 soldiers, because if 2 of them get shot down, you're out the war. Back to square one, start again, 6 weeks. You could be in that cycle if you did 1 account at a time. You could be in that cycle for a year and never actually get paid. It's not the way to do prop. So you have to look at prop failures as just an account blown, right? Literally, if you're risking 10% risk per trade or 5% risk, if you're risking $500 a trade on a prop account, which is 100K, you think you're risking 0.5%. You're not. You're risking 5% of your available drawdown. That's a big risk. What trading course in the world ever tells you to take 5% risk on a trade? People just don't do the maths on prop. Well, they don't think about it. That's what's happening under the hood. Always got to look under the hood. Everything in trading is smoke and mirrors. You've got to look under the hood. Most things, I say, not everything, but a lot of things. Sorry, one sec. Thanks for sharing. Happy FX Signals. Oh, Happy FX Signals is back, everybody. How long have I been streaming my daily trades? I don't know. 450 days. Lives. 400 and, I don't know. Yeah. 400, I don't know. That long. I'll keep scrolling. You want to see it and go to the bottom? I can't think you get to the bottom. A long time. And before this, I ran a paid live room, which was $50 a month. And then I decided to put it all. There you go. December 2021. So a year and a half on YouTube. Before that, about 2 years in a private group. But then I just took it online because it's easier. And I didn't make any money charging people 50 quid a month. So I thought, well, what's the point? And I didn't want to charge £500 a month or £200 a month or £300 a month because I think that's a rip-off. Because it's all out there for free. Wise Trader once said, I've read that, hideous, negative, great brand name. Diamond, I don't know exactly when it was we were trading oil. It was, I was very active at the end of October, first week of September. That's when I stopped. We did pop sometime after that. We basically, oil popped. I exited the trade. I went, I've had enough of this. I'm out. I exited the trade. I think it was 3 positions. And then the next day, oil popped. And that's when I fell out of love with oil. Because that's what happens, isn't it? As soon as you get stopped out, it goes your way. I even teach myself that in the course and I don't listen to it. I wish I did. listen to it. Tim, for the hedging strategy you're testing, do you have 2 charts open for each pair? No. The EA trades both directions, look. So EA is set to trade both directions. Trade direction, both. Not long, not short, both. So hedging. Okay, if it works, that would be gold. Leon, your 1 hour hedge, are you still risking 0.25% over half an ADR, targeting half an ADR? So the H1 hedge set file, no, the H1 hedge set file does something a little different. So what it does is it risks 0.2 over half an ADR. So risk is the same, but targeting and drawdown control are different. So 1.3 lot multiplier on entries. Entries are half an ADR apart. We are closing at half an ADR in profit, but we are doing drawdown on 1.5 ADR against us with 1/3 of the position. So the idea being is by the time we get to doing a drawdown, we need to have 3 positions on, in which case then there's a high probability we'll have had 2 hedges going our way, which pays for the 0.3 drawdown because we're scaling in half an ADR apart. But as it's H1, you don't really get in half an ADR apart because H1 reverse alerts are a lot further apart than on M15 or M5. But these are the calculations I've come out at that seemed to work in back testing. I did limited back testing, not full back testing on it. So we will see, but I thought I'd run straight into live testing because part of this is also you have to manage this psychologically as well. So back testing is great. Everything in history looks great. Your equity curve looks beautiful, but in real world terms, you got to deal with that when it occurs. So stuffing trades like blackjack dealer, stuck on 0. 0 is good. 0 is not a win or a loss, is it? Taking a nap now. Yeah, off you go, Franco. Thanks for joining. All I think about is what color I want my McLaren to be. Go and see Happy FX. They'll help. Happy FX has got a 95% strike rate. Durfin, may you tell us your 3 major reasons for all your work here? Because I enjoy doing it and it keeps me under control so that I don't go and do stupid things, and it stops me over trading. If I'm doing this, I'm not concentrating on charts, I'm not over trading. And also it's to help promote the indicators, but that's not the main reason. Spreading the word is the main reason, really. The two mentors that had the most impact on my trading were both of them did it for free. And one of them said to me when I became profitable with him, he said, just make sure you go and tell everybody else about this. And this, he means how to do it, not this strategy, because it wasn't a strategy. It was just how to trade, basically. So that's why I put the bootcamp out there. I initially put the bootcamp out there for $50. $99 or something. Yeah, all courses out there, you buy a $2,000, $1,500. Very rarely see anything under $500, do you, in trading? So I stuck it out there really, really cheap in the hopes that it would get out to a massive amount of people. And I spent a lot of time doing it. This is the version 2. Version 2 of the bootcamp is on YouTube. Version 1 of the bootcamp was a different bootcamp. Very similar, virtually the same stuff, just not as good. But what happened was, literally within a week, there was a bloke in Telegram flogging my course for half price. So I thought, screw you, I'll half the price. So I dropped the course down to $59. Basically, it's throwaway money. Yeah, you're going to spend that on a meal going out. So then the bloke dropped it down to $25. Yeah, you do the course, you copy it. So I said, right, screw the lot of you. I'll give it away for free. Go on then, sell that. Funnily enough, they don't sell it. So now what they do is they come in the Telegram group, they pretend to be me selling some Bitcoin scam. You can't win, but so that's why the bootcamp is out there for free. Not really because this bloke kept flogging the course off cheap, but it was cheap as chips when I started doing it. And I thought, well, what's the point? I made about $2,000 a month. I made 5 times that trading. It's not an income stream. It's just how to do it. And I enjoy it. I like trading. I love trading. I've been trading for 15 years. So I like doing it. So I might as well get paid for what I do. I get paid in trading income and I sell indicators, which helps give me a secondary income as well. If ever the indicators took over my trading income and became my primary income, I might think twice. But by then I'll probably be a famous international YouTuber. And I'll be like Tom Hugard, traveling the world, doing speeches in front of people, telling them how to trade for an hour. Not quite sure how you learn how to trade in an hour, but that's what these things are, isn't it? We're going to speak. Right, I've got to go. Very clever, not overtrading. Overtrading is one of the biggest killers. Trust me. This is why I use automation. Automation stops you overtrading. Yeah. If you rely on a robot to do it, then you won't overtrade. That's the biggest problem people have in prop as well, which is why if you're using a prop firm that doesn't allow EAs, you're going to be in trouble because you're going to have to do it yourself and you are going to overtrade. Franco, your mentor said, I saved you. Go forth, young man, and heal the world. Exactly. Something along those lines. When someone teaches you something for 1.5 years and doesn't ask for money for it, and I flew over to America to meet the guy as well. He invited me over. And it's, when someone's taken that much time out to do something for you, you feel obliged, don't you? It's the whole pass it on thing. But at the end of the day, you also have to earn money. So I have to trade, but you also need to have other forms of income as well if you're going to offer things for free. And he was retired, so he didn't need it. He was trading, he was making money trading, and he was on a pension, so he had a pension income and he had his trading income. I have my trading income and I make a little bit of money out of the indicators. I wish the indicators would pay my mortgage. Then I wouldn't have to trade. So one of those jobs, trading, you really, really, really want to crack it. When you crack it, you really, really, really want to do something else because it's bloody hard work. Not Lambo Lee. It ain't Lambo land. Nobody's got a Lambo. Well, people do have a Lambos, but they're not through trading. No one earns Lambo money unless they're gambling. If they're gambling, their Lambo is not going to get through its first MOT, is it? Offer wild swimming. Yeah, like Greg Secker does. He takes his employees off wild swimming and things around his many, many properties that he earns from his £11 million a year trading education business. Good old Greg. I haven't seen an advert for Greg for ages. Let's get one, shall we? Ready? Oh, no. It's Mandg Wealth. Wealth. M&G Wealth. Mandg. I couldn't read what the URL was. M&G Wealth. Bloody hell, he's selling yachts. Oh, this bloke, look. This bloke is about to become wealthy. Oh, no, it's a cruise company. Sorry. That was a different company a minute ago. It flicked over to that one. Anyway, we didn't get any adverts today, did we? Very disappointing in the advert front. I haven't seen Greg Secker today, and I haven't seen Nirav today at all. Doesn't matter what I click on. Nirav and Greg Secker are not available today to speak, which is very disappointing. I'll tell you what, I'll watch one of Nick Sean's videos. Let's see if I can get a Nick Sean video to give me an advert. No. Watch this if you're lost trying to learn Forex hedging. I'm certainly lost when it comes to Forex hedging. No adverts today. I haven't got any. Sorry. Can't help you. Anywho. Yes, very hard work. You had Greg yesterday. Yeah, I had Greg yesterday. Always get Greg. It's always Greg on here. No one else spends any money on YouTube. I also tried to do some adverts on YouTube. Aussie dollar yen I just got a signal on. Excuse me. This is entering an area of interest for me. So I am liking any ADRs or RSI extensions in this area to come back up here. Greg Secco, I tried to do some advertising on YouTube and it wouldn't let me because apparently it's related to the financial markets. Go figure. I almost sent him an email back saying, you do know Greg Secco and Nero don't stop advertising financial markets. Why am I not allowed to advertise my live room for free? Anyway, so I won't be doing that. You won't be seeing me pop up on your YouTube feed anytime soon because I'm not allowed, apparently. A guy on our street has a Lambo with personalized plates. Someone clipped his wing mirror about 6 months ago. Still not fixed. Certainly not earning a living trading. No. One of my mates has a Bentley Continental GT, and the rear strip light went on it. If you look at a Bentley, oh, hang on, where is it? Bentley can't spell. Oh my God, Continental. I'm not going to be able to see any images of it now, but the back light. Why's it only got the front? Look at that. You never see the back of a car. There you go. But basically, there's a light here, strip light, brake light, sits there. Yeah, it's made of LEDs. One of the LEDs went. How much do you reckon it costs to fix a Bentley Continental GT rear brake light that is inside your car, made of about 15 LEDs? Pounds. £10,000. The car cost him 45k. He failed an MOT on a brake light. His brake light cost him a quarter of the cost of his car. It's not fun having these cars. My Porsche, I said this the other day, when my Porsche goes in for an MOT, it comes out costing 2,000. If my Porsche goes in for a tyre, it comes out costing 2,000. If my Porsche goes in for a service, it comes out costing 2,000. If I go into the garage 3 times a year, it costs me 6 grand just to have the car sitting on my driveway. They're not fun. So if you want to trade to buy a Lambo, think again, because you're going to have to spend half of your profits just running the bloody thing. It's not fun at all. And my Porsche is like 14 years old. Yeah. Imagine if I had a new one. I couldn't afford one, but I don't think I'd ever buy one. It's too much money. Too much money. Have you ever used the market reverse alerts indicator for trend continuations? Yes. There's a set file for that, Alan. Only on pullbacks though. So the one you are wanting is this. Yeah, this is a trend pullback, trend continuation. So you're only taking RSI extensions in line with trend. So basically what this is doing is when we pull back into the moving average here, we get in. Yeah, we'll pull back into the moving average, get in. Pull back into the moving averages, get in. So the EA automatically does this. You set it to either use the 24 or the 7. Well, set it to use whatever you like. I use obviously the 24.72 daily. But yeah, obviously you won't get as many trades. You'll get a lot less trades. And this is the lower time frame. So this is M15 entries triggering it. And obviously get out wherever you want to get out. It's a trend. So you set, I wouldn't use actually a TP with this because it's a trend continuation. You know, you're trading trends, but I'm personally, I don't trade this because I'm not a long-term holder. I can't hold. One of my problems is I can't hold trades. So trend strategies are not my bag. which is why I struggle a little bit with the opening range breakout, because I know the strategy's got a long-term edge, but executing it is quite difficult because I can't hold trades. I want to be in and out. I want money. I want it here. I'm pre-programmed to bank. I'm struggling at the moment not to hit the button. There's $1,000 sitting there. I'm struggling like hell not to bank it, because that's just what I do. You know, that's the bootcamp. That's what it is all about. It's all about getting the money, realize P&L, get your P&L in your bank. Tajien, did I miss it? I don't think I covered it, to be honest. I haven't done much analysis today. The market's oh, look at that, didn't get out. Coming down. We got money flooding back into the safe havens by the looks of things. So the yen is powering up again. I still like it long, but this is the area. Remember, we looked at earlier. I said there's a possibility of that happening, and it is. So, I'll be another entry on this, somewhere there. So this is ADR. So another entry somewhere for a pullback. You know, big propulsion gaps very rarely get left behind. But at the moment, we've got rushes into safe haven. There's obviously the market is a little bit jittery about something. BOE's man, it will be more difficult than in the previous 20 years for central banks to provide good explanations of how economy and inflation are evolving. So it's not really anything I'd see there that's causing this. Just basically they're piling into the yen again, aren't they? So, but like with everything, I will take another trade and wait. Didn't get out there. Should have done. I could get out a break even, to be honest, on it. What's my yen exposure on this? Yeah. This is my only long exposure. I've got 2 exposures short, which are all going to come into profit, aren't they? So don't really matter. 3K easily. Yeah, no, it wasn't 3, it was 10. A bright light. And you can't change the LEDs either. It's like it's got 15 or 20 LEDs in there. You'd think, like, why don't you manufacture it so that if an LED goes, you can change the LED? No. Change the whole strip light. Oh, and it has to come in the garage to do that. It's like, geez, 10 grand. Well, I wasn't. He was. He put it up for sale. No one wants to buy him. Do you know why he bought that? That Bentley Continental, I think it was 8 years old. It's a £250,000 car or 150 grand car or something. You know, it's a really expensive car. 45 grand he bought it for. Why do you think they are 45 grand? Why do you think they've depreciated so much in 8 or 10 years? Mainly because the cost of running the things is more than they're worth. Unbelievable. Tyres. 200, the tyres on, I can't remember what size they were actually. But the 911's tyres on the back, yeah. Each 911 corner, as we call it, is 600 to 800 pounds. So when it goes in for tyres, you're talking about dropping 2 grand. You can't change one tyre. You have to change them in matched pairs, and you are advised to change all 4. So if you have camber off slightly on one of them and you get a little bit of rub on the inside of a rear back tyre, it costs you 2 grand to change the lot. The Bentley Continental tyres are bigger because they're higher tyres. There's more rubber involved. They're about $1,000 to $1,200 pounds a corner. It's like £4,000 to get your tyres changed. Nuts. It's just not worth it. My BMW is lovely. It's electric. I love driving that. And it doesn't cost anything. Nothing breaks on it. And it's under warranty. It's new. So I lease it. So it goes back every 3 years and I get a new one. So it never cost me a penny. But you can't do that with modern cars because it's got to cost you 150 grand. Happy with my 250cc scooter. Forex profit last year, paid for it. Absolutely. There's more to life than having bills. I'd rather not have big bills than... The best part of buying a supercar is buying a super... It's not a supercar. Well, they class it, but it's... The best part of owning a Porsche is buying it. When you get it and you drive it, you go, you like the noise, you turn the exhaust mufflers off and it makes a lovely noise and it flies and you go, oh, this is amazing. 3 weeks later, you're sitting there going, it's just a car. Do you want to go to the shops, love? Yeah, what should we take? Let's take the BMW because I can't fit more than 3 bags in the front. Utterly useless. Utterly useless. Kids can't get in the back now. Legs are too long. Totally useless. Waste of money. Really good fun buying it, picking the colour. I want one, definitely got to have those seats, definitely got to have that. Oh, no, I don't want that interior. It's horrible. They are not fun things to own, cars, when they go wrong. So get the cheap ones. When they go wrong, they don't cost money. Exactly. Perfect. That brings me to an idea. Instead of doing drawdown control, why not running a setting with trend line rejections parallel? That's hedging, isn't it? I don't know. David, sorry, I missed your comment. I downloaded the demo for the market reversal alerts EA on MT4. It took a long time to load and complete, but my MT4 hanged up. I delete it. Now I'm not allowed to load another demo EA. Don't know. That sounds like an MT4 problem. I would try a different MT4 installation. Shut MT4 and restart it. I've not heard of that. I don't know. That's not really the EA doing that. The EA is just running. All an EA is a text file with a load of scripting in it, telling this thing to plot something. So EAs don't break your charts or terminals or MT4. Something in your MT4 has gone screwy, I would say there. I don't know. No one said that before, so I don't really have an answer for that one. How do you manage if your broker doesn't provide MT4, MT5 trading platform? I don't use a broker that doesn't provide the MT4, MT5 trading platform. That's a really easy question, Virginia. I use MT4, so I make sure my broker does too. Right, I've got to go. So I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7:50. I'll be back tomorrow morning also at 1:20 for the New York session. We'll have a look at the DAX. We'll see if anything's moved. We are seeming to get some movement now. That is still flagging. Yeah, be careful. If you are short on this off of that resistance, just be careful. At any point, this could pop. It will probably get down to target, but that could be the pop. So it's struggling, isn't it, down here? So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow morning 7:50. Be back tomorrow morning 1:20 in the afternoon, and we will obviously see how the market's moved. News-wise, be careful of PMIs. We've got retail sales for the pound in the morning. I'll be on for the rest of it, so that's fine. So we'll be trading through the Euro PMIs. Again, the DAX tomorrow morning, we are probably going to have a very weak DAX open until for an hour. Yeah, so Frankfurt opens at 8. We're not really going to get well, we're going to get a lot of movement off of the news, but we're going to have a very weak open. So again, opening range breakout EA tomorrow. I would be cautious, maybe trade manual if you're going to trade it, or just leave it tomorrow morning. So it's PMIs all day and retail sales all the way to 145, 15 minutes after the open. Again, opening range breakout on the US indices tomorrow afternoon. That's 15 minutes after the open. You're not going to get a good open tomorrow. In fact, the 15-minute ORB, here we go. This is the way to do it tomorrow. Your 15-minute ORB set file is the one tomorrow. Do not trade anything under a 15-minute opening range break. The 15-minute opening range break is going to be a big one because that's when the news hits. There you go. All right. I'll be back tomorrow. See more gold. Yep, I'll do gold tomorrow. Yeah, so I'll be back in the morning. Hopefully see you then. If not, I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. If not, I'll see you next time I see you. Have a good one.